fit you. Sharks, sharks forever. Go out and play without fear. Now's the time to see good football, for the Sharks are here.
Oh, hello. You surprised me there. Welcome to SharkCast Pod, a team dedicated to a podcast, dedicated to a team, the greatest sporting club in the history of the world, our Cronulla Sharks. Let's go, people. This is exciting. You have a great team. You got a great coach. We are the best fans in the world. It is go time. And the great news, like last week, is I reckon we can play even better. Now, I'm just doing a bunch of admin while I talk to you beautiful people. Let's get the comments going. There's StreamYard links where you can call us in. Someone is claiming Machu Wade said, called it 6 weeks ago. Raiders out in 2 weeks. Hashtag Billy Burns. How good is Billy Burns? All right, I'm putting a link up on the Instagram stories. Okay, that's what that's for. I can't get any more personal than that. Sharks win 32-12. Amazing. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Amazing scenes down in Cronulla. Hundreds of people that listen to the show, thousands actually, are probably there. And we're going to be here all night talking. So it doesn't matter when you join in. We want to hear from you. Sharks win after a pretty annoying first half where defensively they were great, but offensively just deplorable. 59% possession, but somehow going to the sheds at halftime, winning on the scoreboard, come out with a brilliant 40 minutes led by Braden Trindle. I mean, there's a whole host of people. We'll get into it all. The redemption tour continues, says Joe from Mr. Paisley's. And he's right. Next up is the Storm. This is SharkCast Pod. We are brought to you by Dyson Logistics, the Royal Yacht Club in Port Hacking, and Jason Hawes at Crips and Crips Real Estate. We get our coffee from Mr. Paisley's. And if you go in tomorrow, be gentle with their owner, because he's not going to be happy. He's a Canberra Raiders man. Very soft spot for the Sharks, though. We did it, guys and girls. We did it. They said we couldn't. We believed. What a great team. I want to hear from all of you about everything. And I'm going to be here all night. I got nowhere else to be but here to talk about the greatest club in the history of the world. And defensively, again, 12 points. One try was where the big fella just sort of fell down. The other one down our right side. But still, that's, I think, 10 weeks now where we haven't conceded over 22 points in a game. Just fantastic. Just fantastic. Scott says Cooper Cronk is giving us credit, and that's always a great thing. Jesse McCulloch says, up, what a win. And this is a great one from Ghastly 10, a regular of ours. He said, time to show us a bit of bloody respect. And that's right. That performance was excellent. And I don't really mind even if they say, well, their best player was missing. Yeah, he was. But that's not our fault. Teague Wilton. Have you ever seen Teague Wilton kick a ball before? This is just remarkable. Remarkable. All right. Lee wants some stats. Let me see what I got for you. The possession ended up 50% each, obviously. The completion rate, we got up to 77%. I don't know how, because we were down at 59%, and I was not happy. I was not happy. But to their credit, they defended really well in that period, and they turned it around. A half-time talk, obviously, from the coach, who we get to, who, by the way, needs a lot of respect. Great stuff. My phone's going bonkers. I love it. I got the prelim nerves already. Let's go. Sorry, Lee. Line breaks 5 each. Canberra 13 offloads to our 4, but thankfully didn't cause too much trouble. But 13 to 4 offloads. Similar-ish run meters. We had 100 more run meters. 40 missed tackles for the Sharks. 45 from the Raiders. So a lot of missed tackles. Penalties were 8-6 to Canberra. Oh, I thought some of those calls today, guys and girls. Errors, 8 them, 10 us. They were tackled in our 20 meters nearly 50 times, and we conceded twice. We're in theirs half of that and scored 32 points. 3 set restarts each. Kick meters, we had 130-ish more. So the stats ended up in our favor, which is awesome. And we'll get to some players throughout the night. If you want to call in, please feel free. You don't have to, but if you want to, you can leave your camera on. You can turn it off. Let me jump over to the Insta before I forget. Hello, everyone on Instagram. Hello, hello, hello. Claudia, our friend, says, let's go. Our good friend Paul said, Sammy, how good. The skipper was amazing. Billy Burns, brilliant. AFB. This is the reason we brought the big fella here. I thought AFB was a bit quiet in the first half, but he had a great second half. Now, Ash from the Sharks store said, I'll need to find a Viking helmet. Diggs96 said, congratulations, Sharkies. You've earned my respect. That's awesome. Thank you so much. That is awesome. Hello to our friend Lisa. Hello to all of our friends. J-Man says, shout out to Billy Burns, best defender in the first half, and it paid dividends. Love Brit through the middle to hope Tommy is okay. Yeah, Tommy, that was the big one. Will he be back for the concussion? One of you people can tell me, because we're playing next Friday. By the way, in a prelim. Let's go. Harry Fish 08 says, up the Sharks. Our good friend Hannah Webb has joined. Luke Perry has joined. I'm staying calm. Hello, Luke Perry. Keels 11 says, we were never going to get the 50-50s tonight. We won't get them next week. We'll give the Storm a good shake. Up. I hope we give them more than a good shake, but I appreciate what you're saying. Griffo says, amazing stuff. Colhoun, Brayley, Teague, effing huge for us. Absolutely. Hey, Cam, how you going? Teague Wilton kicking the ball and scoring. Amazing, amazing, amazing. All right, let's get through some more comments. Stephen Elmer with the quote of the night so far said, I want to kiss Trindle's feet. He'd probably let you too. He was amazing tonight, Trindle. He was so good. Ghastly 10 said, they've paid me back for costing me the tipping comp. Well, you know what? You should tip them. Well, I don't know what the story is there. Danny is so happy. We all are, and proud. Matt says, the window is smashed again wide open. Oh, the window. The window's really open, I think. We're one game from a grand final. Mark says the ball bounces our way tonight. It did in a lot of ways, but I think they really earned it as well. Avocado Shark praises Trindle's kicking. Lee says Big D all the way. Matt says up. Dan Fitz from Canberra says, up, let's effing go. Matt says, Billy watched in Munich. Lee said, thanks to the Sharks crowd for the Viking chant, I believe is what he wants to say. Hey, Ash, I think I posted it, but I'll post it again. Sorry. This is chaos. Okay. Ash, I'm posting it now for you, my friend. Now, Ryan says, buy of the week. Buy of the year. Buy of the season. I'm so rattled. We're one game from a grand final. Fanua Blake, absolutely. Ash from the store says, Trindle's kicking was on song tonight. Jesse with a great point about Iro and Hines' defense. Outstanding. Yeah, Iro was unbelievable. Joe from Mr. Paisley said, defense wins games and ours have been outstanding in the last 8 weeks. All right, I'm going to take a call now. This gentleman's going to watch his language, and all I'm going to hear is, woo. Here he is.
Oh, mate.
Here he is.
Oh, mate. Oh, my goodness.
We did it, Ash. We did it. One game away, buddy.
Mate, dare to dream like it's 2016 again, mate. Oh, my word. What? No, this is probably one of the best away trips I've done this year, mate. You know, there's so much I want to say. Crazy.
Say it.
Like that first half. What happened then the second half? Unbelievable. What a comeback. You know, like everyone, whatever Fitzy said to, sorry, there's a lot of popping fan banners and stuff. But that's look, whatever Fitzgibbons said to the boys at halftime certainly did work, mate. Honestly, you know, what a game. And 80 minutes away from another grand final. You know,
absolutely.
That's it, after Sharkies. I know it's Melbourne. Whoever, we're coming for you, Melbourne. I don't want to get too cocky, but 80 minutes away from a grand final. Whatever happens next week, we've got to go into this with full confidence. I would love to see us in a grand final nearly close to 10 years later. Like, what a game, you know. It's been
a great turnaround, Ash. The last 2 months has been outstanding, and it's peaked in the finals. It's just peaked.
Oh, mate, the celebrations are continuing here. Like, it's hard to believe. Yeah, like, hey, I've got my brother here. This is my brother. But no, staying in Canberra the night, driving back up home in the morning. So it's going to be a good night. But no, look, I have to. There's a few people I want to mention from the club as a credit. Barnesy from merchandise, like he's done outstanding as well this year. The membership team have come in, killed it again. You know, Alec, well, I know, like doing their best as always. The membership team, the club officials at the club, we all love you guys. You all know who you are, and fins up.
Yeah, I love it, Ash. All right, give me your 3, 2, 1s before you go.
All right, 3 points for me. There's a few I'm going to give it 3 points to. So 3 points, a couple. Nico, AFB, and Trindle are my 3 men. 3 points.
Okay.
Just 3 points for me. So Tricky, AFB, and Nico easily for me. I could nominate a few more, but they all deserve a pat on the back for an amazing comeback. They all know what they've done, and we're all proud of them. And well done. Very proud of them. And it's going to be a good week again. It's going to be a good week knowing
it's going to be a great week.
That we're still in the playoffs, and it's absolutely great. And hopefully, if work is kind to me, which I know they will be, so hopefully let me off work to go to Melbourne, even though I work in a cafe in Grays Point, but I'm sure they'll be kind enough to let me go. But if not, that's fine. I will be cheering loud and proud from Sharkies at Cronulla. Hopefully, I will be there in the stands at Amy Park.
We need to get a petition so you can get to the game, Ash.
I know. I think
I'll sign it for you.
I might have to. Thank you. I mean, everyone needs to sign it because I would love to be in Melbourne again because there's just something about Melbourne that I absolutely love. Like Melbourne, like even though I don't like the Storm, but Melbourne in general is just beautiful. I just have a soft spot in my heart for Melbourne. It's like, it's such a beautiful city, Melbourne. Like there's so much to do. Like if you've never been to Melbourne, you have to go in your lifetime because it is amazing.
You're making me laugh tonight, Ash. I got to tell you, like now you're doing travel ads for Melbourne. Let's not get too nice here. We're going down to win the game.
Yes, absolutely. But anyway, thanks, Canberra. And, fins up. Why not us? Bring that champ back. Why not us? Why not us in 2025? Let's do it.
All right. Sounds good.
Come on.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
Cheers, Sam. I'll let you get through to other callers so I don't take up the whole night.
Take care, brother. Have fun.
Thank you, mate. Have a good night. Thank you.
All right. Talk to you soon. That's Ash in Canberra. Avocado Shark said, thought Will Kennedy was very good, especially making some good tackles and straight back up and moving behind the line. I noticed that. I noticed he was caught at marker a lot, but then got out of there. I thought he had some moments in the first half that were regrettable, but we win the game and in a much better second half. Our friend Adrian, who we last saw in Vegas, said, Billy Burns, not all heroes wear capes. It is such a great time to be a Shark. Our friend Lush has already organised the pregame. Friday, 3:00, the Pink Lemonade in Melbourne. Let's do it. So it's already there. Put it in your diary. If you're going to Melbourne, if you're fortunate enough, you're lucky enough, if you got the cash, got the time, got the patient people around in your life, head down, and that's where you need to be. And my friend Lush will look after you. Paul said the defense was elite, and it really was, and it really has been. The Sharks are already sending out information about the finals. We have to mention the NRLW team. We haven't even gotten there yet. They're playing the Roosters next week in a prelim. All this club does is win, except for Jersey Flegg. And shout out to Jersey Flegg because they almost won. Anthony says the milk has gone stale. We chucked them out of the finals. We did. Mark says, just quietly, we do that to the Storm. Look, it's on, man. I'm not going to tolerate any, we're going down there and maybe we'll play a little bit better and maybe we're going down there to win. Like, there's a line in the sand. Fitzy started it 10 weeks ago with his speech to the boys. Ronaldo did it the other week. Nico Hines, who I was slightly critical of in a sense, if you go listen to it during the week, about what he said, he drew a line in the sand. It's time to dance, man. Let's go. Let's go to Melbourne and win. We're not going down just to make up the numbers. It's going to be tough. Mike says, Teague Quilton loves your bum. I love him too. Blake said, lucky we didn't have Ash reffing. Jason says, let's see my Go Sharkies banner, please. Up Cronulla. Chris says, Sharkies. BJK says, go you Sharkies. All the doubters and the media can go jump. It's time for the media to drop their agenda and move on. Yeah, I'm with you. I think that this club deserves a lot better. A lot better. Doc said, great to see Nico have some great plays tonight. We do have the phone line open. And I want to say, if you dial in and then someone else is there, don't drop out. Hang around. I can see you and I'll bring you in when I can. Our good friend Adam Flanagan said, hey, Blake loves the boys. Our friend Susan, who I think he's over in Adelaide or somewhere, said, up the Sharkies. Stick that up the expert's backside. Nathan said, great win. I love this club. I love this club too, man. Come on. What a great win. So proud. That was a great win. Oh my gosh. Okay, Ghastly 10 said, they said Tom was not going to be able to play next week. So maybe that sounds right. But yeah, someone can confirm that if you haven't already. Lush, I'll be talking to you. Yep, Lee said Tall Tom is, excuse me, the voice is going already. Tall Tom's out for next week. I need some Coke Zero. Stat. And that sucks because he actually looked all right in some of those big runs, but That's all right. Oregon Kafusi will come in, another tall person to do the job. So we have people to do the job, and then Tall Tom can play in the grand final. Ghastly 10 said, will there be a bus to Melbourne? Ooh, I reckon someone will organise one. Terry said, Trindle's kicking game was insane. And yes, thank you, Tom. We'll miss next week. Thank you for that. Ryan said, we play like this the last 3 weeks. We win it all again. I'm going to jump over to Insta before I don't. Griffo said, Tricky was good. I thought both halves played well. Absolutely. Cam Webb, who is a co-host on the show, said, super fun time at the Cronulla Club tonight. Congratulations to everyone. Man, I bet you it was pumping. Oh, my God. Clevo, the great Clevo, said Canberra cursed the rugby league gods with resting their whole team against the Finns. Never, ever mess with the 50 burger points curse. It's true. It still lives, the curse. So you can't concede 50 points and win a comp. Very interesting. Jacqueline has joined. Finn3 has joined and said, what a performance. As soon as we held the ball, we had it all over them. Finn3, absolutely. All we had to do was hold the ball from the first minute. We didn't for 30 minutes. Once we held the ball, I knew we'd get it. And we won 32-12, a 20-point win in finals. We can play finals football. Coach can coach finals football. I love this club. Now, this is what we want to talk about. Clevo said, was that the secret Sharks fan, Matt Bungard from the Boom Rookies podcast, standing in the front row amongst Sharks faithful, golf clapping in a blue Bill Murray baseball shirt and soccer windbreaker? You can bet your, no one look, ass, that was him, Clevo, and I was messaging him all night. We chatted today. We caught the bus. He caught the Sharks bus down. That's how much of a fan he is. And Bungard was front row, a la Shanaz and Kieran at the Cowboys game last year. And it was all about Bungard tonight and his love for the black, white, and blue. Jasperillo said, what a performance for the boys. Next week, do you want the Storm to play an underdone Hughes or an informed Peasant? Oh, that's a great question, Jasperillo. Oh, my God. I'm good. Anxious just feeling about that. I don't know is the question. I don't know. Let's get back to that one. That's an amazing question. You people let me know. Do you want underdone Hughes or informed Peasant? Jay said defense again came to the floor once again. Great work tonight from Brayley. He was awesome. Wilton, amazing. Trindle, awesome. Burns, his growth has been great. Nero, so important. Absolutely. Charlotte from Mr. Paisley's has just joined, and you need to go down to that store cafe tomorrow and through the week to experience what we're going to experience at Mr. Paisley's. It's going to be a hoot. All right. Delord Brass said, tremendous performance by the boys. We are hot. Mark said Ronnie was huge. Blake said, and I will agree with him, Wilton is the Farkin man. Farkin. I've got the Fox Sports on over in the corner showing the highlights of Billy Bird's going through the line. He's going to score. Brad says, this team has matured in the last month. We lost momentum twice with two big mistakes, and both times we muscled up and got the momentum back. Doesn't happen 6 weeks ago. Whatever Fitz has done lately is a different beast. Danny says, what do you think about the Raiders giving up 3 penalties to play on, so not taking the 2 early? I can see both sides to it, but I would have thought you need some points early, no matter what they are. So maybe they regret that. I'm not sure. Blake says, I'm glad our boys are injury-free. Aside from Tall Tom. Tall Tom will not play next week is what we're told. J. Rick says, and I'm sorry if I'm behind with these comments, said, up. There's just so many comments and keep them coming. I want a podcast all night legitimately, so don't go anywhere. Love seeing the media switch up their respect straight after the game. Cronk was pretty strong. opposing Classic Storm player. Lucky we're ready to dominate them at their home up. Yep. Absolutely. Here we go. All right. This is the moment I've been waiting for. This is the moment I've been waiting for. Now, this man can breathe. And all week he's been messaging me saying, I need to breathe. What was your quote, Michael? I need this win like I need
more than I need air.
Yes. Yes. Say it again one more time.
I need this more than I need air.
Introduce your beautiful family to us.
Oh, yeah, this is Monique, my wife, and my little bloke, Charlie, who, yep.
Up the Sharks!
And where's your other child?
He's asleep at his nan's house.
Awesome. Now, Michael is from Canberra, as most of you know, and these matches mean more to him than anyone because he's walking around in their town and he's blue, black, and white. And tell us about your experience. Let's go. Come on. What do you got?
Oh, man. So got tickets in Shark Bay. Shark Bay was electric the whole time. Shout out to the Shark Cage guys, like banging the drum and going nuts. Yeah, we were loud the whole time, and it was absolute party. It was a party in there. It was great.
Now, are you aware that Matthew Bungard from Boom Rookies was in the front row cheering us all night long and was seen on TV doing so?
I swear he can't deny it anymore, man. He's a shark. He's a shark for sure. No, I went and saw him. Yeah, say good day, and he said to say good day to you. So yeah, it was good, man. And meet your mate Doco. That was good.
Yeah, Doco's a great man. He'll be happy. Now, talk us through your 3-2-1s. What did you like out there? What did you see?
I thought Tricky really played well. It kicked well. Guide us around the park. I thought Nico was very strong after the drop ball. I thought him getting that try was just so huge for him. And I love you, Billy Burns.
Mate, he is just, I'm going to say it, he's undroppable.
He's the best.
Now, how do you feel about the coach is what I want to ask you right now.
Look, morons from the internet are wrong. Oh, no. Oh, what a shame. I'm wrong and my team won. Oh, dear. Oh, I guess I was proven wrong.
No. Let's not get ugly here, RCB. I'm saying, yeah, the fact that Billy Burns is still out there is because Billy Burns is amazing, but also the coach had the guts to stick though, right?
Yeah, he picked him. He stuck with him. They played great. I think Toby had a bit of an unhappy first half, but came back strong. The rest, it was just great, man. They were all top notch. They played so hard. They were so good in D. That first try that they got where Horsburgh put it through the legs, they were lucky to get that, So we defended so bravely in that first half, and to get the reward and to build the pressure and beat them, it's so good, man. It rules.
And the great news is, RCBs, we can play better than that, especially in offense. You weren't watching the stats, but we were down to about 58% in the first half of completion.
Oh, no, I was well aware of our inability to hold the football, yes.
Yeah.
It was,
yeah.
They
turned it around. To their credit, they turned it around.
Yeah. Second half, we were all over them, man. All over them in the second half.
Now, a very tricky question, my friend. Very tricky question. I'm going to throw it out there. How does this relate? How does this compare? I'm losing my ability to talk. How does this compare to 2016, the Canberra win?
Okay, so that year was that year I had a lot of sort of crap things happening around my life, and so that was like a big release of like pressure and stress, and also we were going bad at the end of the season, and it was all that stress, and like to beat them was electric. Today it was more fun because the game was I thought we were going to win with 20 to go, man. Like I thought, these guys aren't scoring, they're not scoring, so it was way more of a party. That one was tense and tight and like tough. Today was great, and it was just great to be here with my little boy, and my wife, and that, and it's just awesome.
You're awesome.
All right, man. I'm going to go get in the car and go home and celebrate.
That was That was the greatest curb moment ever. I said, you're awesome. And you went,
See ya.
No, I'm awesome. Ish. Anyway, up the Sharkies, Sammy.
all right. Take care. And we'll talk to you during the week, I'm sure.
Go good, mate. Have a good one, man.
All right. Thanks for calling in. See you guys. Bye, family.
Bye.
That was the great RCB, the legendary RCB. He is so amped about this win. And we're going to keep the callers coming. I don't want to keep this gentleman waiting. And while I keep him waiting for like 5 seconds, Ryan is watching in Austria. So that is awesome. And he's back home the day before the grand final, which we will be in. That's a quote from him. So, Ryan, we'll see you at the grand final, which is great. Now, I'm going to bring in our friend Corey. Corey, how are you, man? I don't need to ask you. Hey, what's going on? Hey, thanks for calling in. I think you're muted. Can you unmute yourself?
Got me now?
Gotcha, brother. How are you?
Mate, I'm over the moon.
Yeah. Tell me what you liked.
Our defense, I don't know what Fitzy said to him before that Bulldogs game, but we've just gone from I literally think that we've gone from 5th to number 1 defense. I think.
Oh, they actually are. No, they are.
Yeah,
they are.
Yeah, and I was noticing a lot too that earlier in the year we'd give a penalty away and then we'd concede straight away.
Yep.
Over the last couple of weeks, we concede a penalty. No one drops their heads. The boys are like, "We've got this. We'll defend it."
For sure.
And it's like RCB said, that Corey Horsburgh try. He went through the legs. It was pure luck. Like I wasn't disappointed in that try, but my God, I don't know what Braden Trindle is doing, but man, he is playing out of his skin.
He is, right? Like that kicking game tonight. Like take away everything else, the attack, the defense, from him. His kicking game was elite. I think he had that one which went a centimeter too far with a 7 tackle set, but who cares because he was just fantastic. Like he just like last week, just absolutely pinning him down in their right corner to Ricky Stewart's kid, just absolutely peppering him. I thought Nico's found the right amount of measurement where he's Nico and when he's Trindle's partner. There's like a difference. And I think Nico sort of starts the game with a bit of gung-ho and then he chills a little bit and then Trindle takes over. But then he keeps playing on Nico. And at the moment, it's a really good way to play. What'd you make of the halves?
Yeah, I feel like Nico's playing more like a 6 at the moment. And I think he's pretty much just said to Tricky, I'll do all the ball running and you do all the kicking, and it's working wonders at the moment. Like you look at Nico's running game, especially when he scored that try. His running game is fantastic. I think he's got one of the best running games in the comp. So many people still say to me that he's not a halfback. They should play him at fullback. Well, he's playing in the halves, but he's also got that fullback ability where he's got the good footwork. He's just an all-round natural footballer, and he's also got the best hair in the Shire, so that's also something that's going well for him as well.
It's really cool to see them win by 20 in Canberra in a game where we were still outsiders at kickoff. Even with their best player missing, people were still like, and don't get me wrong, Canberra have been incredible all year. Like I genuinely feel for them as someone who's experienced 2 and out in final series. Like I genuinely feel sorry for them. Not feel sorry for them. I genuinely sympathize for them and with them. But the storyline the Sharks have written now, where it was Bulldogs, Roosters, Canberra, now we're on to Melbourne, and then we play the winner of, what are we saying, Dogs, Penrith, Brisbane in the grand final, should we get there. Yep. Hopefully we do. That storyline, like, it's getting stronger and stronger every week. Like, at first I was like, oh yeah, it's kind of cute or whatever. But now it's a legitimate thing. It's unbelievable.
Oh, it's and it's fantastic. But as soon as like Tom Hazelton went down, I started to freak out because I'm thinking there's one big body down. I started to worry. I thought that's going to spur the Raiders on, but we just kept our cool. We were just like, Tom's gone down. We've got the team to do this. There was a couple of moments where I was thinking, oh, this isn't looking good, especially when Kenny knocked that ball on when Fogarty did the spiral. I always freak out under those. I was thinking as soon as Kenny dropped, I thought, here we go.
Look, Corey, there were times in the game where I just shrugged my shoulders, didn't even get upset, and just went, well, we can't win if we continue doing this. And I maintain if we continued at a 59% completion rate, even against Canberra, who are missing their best player, you're not going to win the game. Like, you're just not. You can defend awesome for 30 minutes. Are you going to defend awesome for 80? Maybe not. They fixed what they had to do. We can play so much better as a whole. So for 80 minutes next week, if we choose to. So Canterbury, Roosters, pretty much. The Roosters wasn't a complete game. I thought we tried really hard the whole game. It wasn't. But go back to the Dogs game. That's us at our best. But tonight, when at one point we had under 60% completion, we still beat Canberra in Canberra, the minor premiers, by 20 points. So imagine how good we'll be if we can just not drop so many balls. Like the Will Kennedy one was pretty bad. Like it was a hard kick, but it's your job to catch it. I think there was a Sione error. There was the Jesse error. Jesse Ramian one was like, dude, what are you doing? Like, we're about to score a try and you drop the ball. Like, if they cut that stuff out, they'll make life a lot easier on themselves. They'll win by more. They won't defend as much. The defense is a good stat to have, and it's tough and stoic. But even right at the end, Corey, I was like, why are we defending so hard? Like, you're going to get injured or suspended. Just stop. Be like the Cowboys game in 2016. Like, it doesn't matter. You're up by 20. Let them score. Who cares? Like, I'm glad they didn't. Yeah. I'm glad they didn't. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's all about next week. As soon as you think you're going to win, it's all about next week. So,
I just hope no one gets suspended. I know a couple of our boys got put on reports, so I'm fingers crossed.
I thought the Toby one will be fine. As in, it might be a fine, actually. I don't think he'll be suspended. We'll get through all that stuff tomorrow morning, but I think we'll be okay. The stuff I saw wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
Tell me, before we're going to get to Scotty in a little bit. So, tell me, Corey, do you have 3-2-1s, or is it just everyone was awesome? Like, what's your thoughts?
No, I do. I've got to give my 3 to Trindle. He's just playing out of his skin. 2 for me. I know he's scored a try and was pretty good in defense, but I've got to give it to Burns. I don't know what special Gatorade or Powerade that man is drinking, but I want some. Like, he is just. And
do you reckon? Do you reckon his manager regrets signing already? You know, add a few zeros to that contract.
I think his manager does, and I think Billy does. I think Billy's perfectly happy where he is.
Billy doesn't mind. Yeah.
And probably number 1, I've got to go the captain, Blake Brayley. Just he knows when to run out of dummy half. He can see it coming from a mile away, and he is really, really giving me a mixture of 2 players. He's given me Michael Ennis vibes because when we brought him in, obviously we won the comp, and with just how cool, calm, and collected he is, it's Michael Ennis and Cameron Smith combined.
That's a pretty good shout. I have to say that as the number 1 Blake Brayley fan in the world, it's even surprised me about what a great captain he is. His delivery.
Yeah.
Like, aside from KL Ero, you won't find a more chill person in the world. But even in the most heated of moments, he's just like, and there was a moment, and I think Andrew Voss called it out. It was very obvious to see where they got a penalty and it was maybe 15, 20 to go. And it was a clear penalty. And Blake did the Tedesco, I'm going to walk up and have a little chat. And it wasted probably 10 seconds, you know?
Yeah.
And that's awesome.
That's very well done. Yeah. And
Go on, Corey.
Because I was watching the game with my mum, and
Yep.
when Hudson when Simi Sasangi went over,
Yeah.
I knew straight away. I was like, that's gonna get called back. That's an obstruction.
Really, you saw it straight away? Yeah, right.
Yeah, like I said to mum, like, that's too easy. Something's not quite right here. And even I felt like that we were on the back foot for like 10, 15 minutes of that game. I generally felt like even though it was 0-0 for a while and then 6-0 to Canberra, I was watching that whole game, and not once did I go, I think we're going to lose this. Like, I was pretty confident the whole way.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll tell you the
Canberra
most
will give it a
nervous
go.
I've been, Corey, for some time. I don't know why. I mean, I do know why. But the amount of time it took to award the KL Hero try. Like, that was a legitimate marathon. It was like, well, if they're looking so long, I was doing all these theories. They're looking so long, they're going to pull something out, but then they would have done it by now if they could have. And so
I actually thought AFB knocked it on.
Yeah, that was my thought too. I thought maybe he was offside or something. So as in KL was offside because AFB touched it, but luckily it all worked out. You make your own luck. Anything else before we get to Scott, Corey?
I really, really feel like that next week against Melbourne, keep the same team, unfortunately for Tommy Hazelton, but Britt Nickera coming off the bench is one of the best changes I think we've done all year.
Yeah.
Because I know he hasn't been fully fit, and people need to remember he's a Kiwi representative. He's an international second rower coming off the bench for a bloke that's not meant to be in the starting squad.
He's one of our most highly paid players, and it's a massive call. And I can only imagine in round one next year, or I don't even know, maybe I don't know what happens in a grand final, but round one next year, I can only imagine Britt Nickera is our starting second rower. You know what I mean? So it's a very weird situation, but that's a good one to be in. It's working out, and they're on a roll, man. They're on a roll. Hey, Melbourne, Corey, thanks for calling in. Always appreciate it.
No worries.
We'll hopefully talk to you next week after a Melbourne win. And enjoy the week, man. A prelim, very special. We don't get them all the time, although in recent history we've been okay with it. But for me personally, growing up, they were very rare. So please enjoy it. Enjoy the week. It's going to be a good one, and it's a short week, right? Because we're back on Friday. So
are we back on Friday or Sunday?
It's Friday. It's going to be Friday, locked in. Yep.
Okay.
I'm going to let you go because Daniel's here as well.
Yep.
So
no worries.
I'll talk to you soon. Thanks, legend. Enjoy the rest of the show. Please keep watching. Now, Daniel, I see you, brother. So we'll get to you shortly. I'm going to get to Scott. Thank you so much, Daniel. All right. Here comes Scott, and I believe Scott is from South Korea.
That's correct. How you doing?
I'm pretty good, dude. I'm not going to lie to you. And I can tell you now, if you want to tune out, the Fitzgibbon press conference is coming up. But what I will say is watch it on sharks.com.au later on, and you'll be happy watching it there. Dude, what a great win. One of the great wins. What are you feeling? What are you thinking? Talk to me.
To be honest, it was never in doubt. Even though I struggled with our completions in the first half, I just felt once we got on top, we were able to pull away. I felt the Raiders' tries were quite lucky. It was just errors from us that really gifted them the opportunity to score. But once we knuckled down, got our defense sorted, our attack followed, and we were able to get on top of them easily.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Was there any point during the game where you were nervous or you thought, no, we got this?
Probably about 10 seconds before kickoff.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And tell me about who impressed you. I'm guessing everyone I asked this to is going to say the number 6, and you're allowed to say it too, but tell me who you liked out there and what you liked about him.
Trindle played really well. He's really come into his own, but I thought Euro really owned that battle with Timoko.
Yeah.
Time Timoko tried to go around him, he just could not get past. So I thought Euro had probably one of his better games. He was very quiet last week against Robert Toyer, but this week he really stepped it up, so he showed his class. And definitely AFB, in especially his second stint when he came back, because he was quiet in that first stint. But when he came back, he really put us on the front foot. And it was good to see Toby and Nikra and Billy back him up with that.
Yeah, the bench has been incredible the last month. And the thing I cannot work out, Scotty, is Sifa Talakai is legitimately close to our best player every week. He's averaging, 20 minutes a game? And it's kind of working. Well, sorry, it's definitely working. But how do we keep him out there longer, or do we not want to? I'm so confused by the Sifa Talakai thing because I love him to death, but he's barely out there. But when he's out there, you know that he's going to do something amazing. It's very confusing.
I think it's probably an unlucky thing for Sifa. Like, I'm a huge Sifa fan. I think we should sign him for life.
Yeah.
But the effort that he does when he does come on, and he helps us really make the meters that we need. And then once he comes off, it's usually AFB replacing him. So it's almost similar quality in the runs.
Yeah.
I think maybe if he can have a short break and come back in the final 10 minutes, maybe that a bit more. But when we're on top like that, it's sort of could be a detriment to the team if we take someone off as we're starting to dominate. So best to keep him off the field and, injury free, hopefully.
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, he's obviously going to be very fresh. I mean, just looking at his stats, almost 100 meters, 11 tackles. I felt like he was only out there for maybe, what do you think, 15, maybe 20 minutes, I guess?
Yeah, especially he came on just before halftime. That's when we started to dominate. And in our attacking style, once he came on, we're actually running over the top of players. I think he got over Sasangi one time, and in the second half as well, he ran over the top of somebody. But the way that he's playing at the moment, I wouldn't change it because everything that we're doing is working.
Yeah, for sure. But you make a lot of sense, Scotty. You seem like a very mature, concise, calm person, as opposed to me, who's losing my absolute mind because we're one game away from a grand final. And even though I know how this all works, it actually only dawned on me at full time. I was like, we're one game away from a grand final. This is unbelievable. I guess because we haven't really been talking about it. It's one game at a time. No one's backing us in. So it's a great place to be. Now, Loading Thunder gave the 3-2-1s, Trindle, AFB, Brayley. Give me your 3-2-1s, and then we'll go talk to Daniel.
So I'll go Trindle 3, Brayley 2, and I'll go Eero 1.
Brayley 2. Eero was pretty good, hey? Like that defense, man. He's going to be a great player for a long time. Now, Scotty, what's your situation? Should we win next week? When we win next week, you booking tickets, or what are you doing from South Korea?
I wish I could. I definitely wish I could fly back. Unfortunately, I'm a business owner over here, so it'll be hard to get time off. So,
well, hang on, you're the boss.
I'm the boss. Unfortunately, I run an English language school here in South Korea, so as much as I'd love to come back, I've got to be responsible to the kids that I teach. So, yeah, unfortunately, I won't be able to come.
I reckon people can go without English for a few days. You do a whirlwind trip. And
if I could get a late night flight back to Korea, I'd be happy to do that.
Hey, thanks for dialing in. Really appreciate it. Please feel free to do so anytime. Great to talk to you, and have a good prelim week, my friend. Hopefully we'll talk to you after a win next week.
No worries, Sammy. Chat to you later.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. All right, here comes Daniel who, hey, Daniel, I'm going to be really rude. I'm going to leave you for 1 second and you'll see why, all right? 1 second. Here we go. Holy cow. Look at this. It's the Shark Bus. Now, I can see it, Bernard. Oh, we're going to sing a song. All right. The Shark pages there. People listening. I've got the Shark Cage drum in the bus. Hello. What about this? The greatest Sharks fan in the history of the world, Matthew Bungard, seen every 5 minutes on TV, hanging over the rafter, nervously watching on like it was 2014. No, buddy. This is 2025.
Yeah, it was when we came down, the boys, they were like, oh, we got a couple of extra tickets in the Shark area. Come sit with us. I was like, yeah, no worries. Oh, front row. I was like, And then my phone was blowing up all night. They kept showing me and Sarah and Gia and everyone else on TV. Timmy, great work with the drum all night long.
Timmy's my man.
Only thing missing was you, my friend, but we had a great night.
Appreciate that. What were your thoughts? Give me your thoughts.
Forward pack, immense. I thought Talakai and Nicara especially lifted the whole team when they came on. Billy Burns as well. Billy Burns was great. I don't think there was a bad player out there, though, to be honest. I think probably after the 25-minute mark, Cronulla were absolutely dominant. I've not seen their forward pack take over a game like that in a long time. To go down there in a hostile environment and do that was just so impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a little bit not speechless, like I thoroughly deserved it, but I'm just in shock that we're one game from a grand final, Matthew. It's very exciting. Now, are we getting the bus to Melbourne? What's happening there?
I definitely won't be. I have heard some rumours that there might be an event at Shark Park for some Sharks fans, so we'll see how that goes.
Okay, Matt, breaking the news.
I mean, you've got some cachet with the club, Sam. Mate. Why don't you pull some strings, make it happen? I'm sure everyone would love to do it. So,
okay.
Anyway,
we'll work on that.
We've got a long 3-hour bus ride ahead of us, but everyone's in great spirits, unsurprisingly.
Let's
go. Mate, take it easy.
All right. Take care. Thank you so much for calling in. Now we got to get to my man, Daniel. Daniel, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. How are you, sir? And who is that gentleman next to you?
This is my son, Connor. He's probably a bigger Sharks fan than anybody else on this planet. So I thought he can join the live stream as well.
Absolutely. How are you guys feeling? Talk to me.
Mate, we're ecstatic. I didn't know how we would go leading into the game, but I thought I was a bit confident. We started wobbly, but then I thought, even if we're messy in attack or holding the ball, we just know that we could defend it. So I thought if we just hold them out and defend it, it's going to break their confidence, and eventually we come out on top, I reckon.
Absolutely. The first half was a little shaky with the handling, but they backed it up with their defense. Like they kept holding him back. And then when they scored that first try, which was kind of weird in itself, just the falling over the line thing.
Just lucky, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't too bummed by that. I was like, okay. And then, to score those 2 tries for half-time, obviously great timing. What about this Trindle kid? He's in unbelievable form. It seems like when the finals come around, he lifts.
Oh, he's been exceptional. Last week he was the best on field. Tonight he was best on field, and he allows Nico to do what Nico wants to do. And he doesn't like losing. You can tell he wants to compete in everything the whole time, which I think is brilliant.
Now, Connor, who is your favourite player, Connor, in the Cronulla Sharks?
Probably one of the wingers.
Which one? Pick a winger for me. Is it Ronaldo?
Yeah, I'd say Ronaldo.
Yeah. He's pretty good. They were both pretty good tonight.
Yeah.
I think Connor likes the attitude that comes with it.
Yeah, he's a good role model, Ronaldo, on and off the field. Okay, and so did Connor have a choice in who he goes for, Daniel, or it was just love it or leave the house?
Yeah, he did, but luckily he just sort of he started watching the highlight reels when he was younger, and then he just sort of fell into it from there. So
nice.
Yeah, but he loves it.
And is the whole family, the whole household Sharks, or is there a bit of division there? Or
No, I'm very lucky. We're all very shark related. Well, we're
okay.
We're all shark fans, I should say. Sort of coming from the Shire. We don't really have a choice. You got to follow the team you come from.
I would like to think so. I'd like to think so. And what are you thinking about next week? Like, are you ready to rock? Are you a little bit apprehensive? What are your thoughts?
Look, to be honest, after winning tonight, I don't really care what happens next. I mean, I want us to win. I think we can. I'm pretty confident.
Interesting.
You know that the Raiders came off just a brutal experience last week. Whether that played any role tonight, probably not, given how we played. I think we would have won anyway. But Melbourne, when Melbourne are fresh, you got to wonder. But at the same time, if anyone can beat Melbourne, the Sharks can do it. So I think we're in a position to potentially go all the way this year, which is excellent. It's very exciting.
It is very exciting. It's very exciting. It's been amazing past couple of months. I think we're at, 9 wins from 10 games or something now that's stacking up. So, in the past, especially under Fitzgibbon, in the past, we kind of limped into these finals, but this year they had their lull halfway through the year and came out the other side. And it's been remarkable. The defense in particular, Daniel, defense is just unbelievable.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like it. I don't think we've ever defended the way we have. Not only like if there's a structure there, but I think it's just the mindset. You can tell that if something doesn't work out, that they're scrambling to make sure that the other team doesn't get the advantage from it. So you can tell that they're actually in the fight in every play, in every defensive set, which is what you want to see.
Absolutely. Daniel, who is your favorite Shark of all time?
Probably either Gallon or Fafita. I'm a big man, so I like the big men in that sense.
Okay.
I'm a forward. Yeah, you got to go the big guys. I think they make the difference.
And can I ask a very personal question? How old is Connor?
15.
You're 15. So who's your favorite Shark of all time?
Oh.
Is it one of the wingers or someone a bit older?
Yeah, I think I liked the wingers for a long time, no matter who it was. I liked Sasai Vecchi when he played.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. He was a big fan of Vecchi. It's kind of bummed when he wasn't playing anymore. But I mean, we got replaced with Mulatalo and Katoa. I mean, you can't do any worse than that.
They've done really well to back it up. All right, boys. Well, all that's left to say is I need your 3-2-1s. It can be collective. It can be if you want to lead it, Daniel, or if Connor wants to do it. I don't really mind. Both of you. What do you got? Who's your 3-2-1s out there tonight?
So Connor says Trindle 3.
Good choice.
Brayley 2.
Good choice.
He says Nico 1 because of his defense.
Okay, I like it. And do you agree with that, Daniel?
I can't disagree with that. I think AFB and Talakai were exceptional, so they'll get honourable mentions from me.
Okay, awesome. Thanks for calling. Please feel free to do so anytime you like. Hopefully after we win next week, or I'm not going to go the other angle because that's not even in my comprehension. We're going to win. So yeah, if you want to call in time, please feel free. Great to meet you, Connor. Thank you so much, Daniel, and sorry to keep you waiting as well. And we'll talk to you soon.
Good mate. Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Enjoy, boys. Enjoy the week. All right, that was Daniel and Connor, two big Sharks fans. This is outstanding. Just outstanding. Now I can't forget about the people over on the Insta, but I have to message someone right now, and that someone may come on the show. Sharks win 32-12. Now I know we do an audio podcast, and audio is really our strength. And tonight there's a bit more of a visual element to it. So hopefully the people are following along on the audio side of things. Dean says, disappointed missed the game due to being in Manila, waiting to get back to Sydney, but happy to fly back. On the Insta, Bell said, up, what a win, dare to dream. Charlotte from Mr. Paisley said, we're all wearing our Cronulla jerseys on Monday. Absolutely. Remind me and I'll do it too, although I'll probably just wear blue, black and white all week. S-Mac said, Blake Island will now like to introduce the town mayor, Billy Burns. That's amazing. Hello to Brooksy. Hello to Fraser Glenn at Ray White. Ash at the Sharks said, I keep jumping between social media apps. Brooksy said, fits in into a massive pay rise and potentially coach of the year. Let's go. Ash said, blue hair dye sales about to skyrocket in the Shire. Kieran says, what time are we flying down? We'll talk. Erica says, what a win. So happy. Up Cronulla. Brooksy says, hands up if you had 13 plus Sharks. That's pretty cool. Hello to Katie and hello to Jacob and hello to everyone. Jay says, Trindle 3, Brayley 2, T. Wilton 1. T. Wilton was unbelievable. John says, never in doubt, real test next week. Hello to our friend Donnie. Hello to everyone on here. Jardian's on here. He should be on the show. Finn 3 said 3 for Nico, 2 for Bradley, 1 for Tricky. That's awesome. All right. There's so many people here. It's amazing. Sharks win at 32 points to 12 over Canberra and advance to the prelim final. I love a prelim. So much beauty and so much heartbreak. It's just all there. Bo said, easy up on the artificial sweetener. Mind your own business, Bo. Blake says, I love this podcast. I could fall asleep to it. Believe me, some people do. Thank you, Blake. Luch from Melbourne, our Melbourne expert, who will be on the show this week. Luch will be on the show. Said, bear in mind, next Friday's game is playing on AFL Grand Final Eve, a public holiday. So if you're coming down, the hotels will be expensive. That's okay. We're just going to stay at your place. Alex said, the resilience shown by the boys tonight was the best part. Multiple drop balls, penalties to start, and we defended our goal line. Adam says, all the commentary are saying we play with the same and don't change anything. We won't be beaten. So they've really changed their tune. Troy says, over the moon result, Final Four, let's go. Ghastly 10 is asking about the Sharks supporters area at AMI Park, Amy Park. It's not a great viewing experience, but it'll be a lot of fun and rocking. And if you want to be with friends, then that's where you'll be, but you do you. Malcolm, who just got married, congratulations, said we'll get the Storm. Andrew says, dream big. Always, brother. Vinny says, Teague impressed. Kevy again. I believe that's Kevy Walters he's talking about, the Australian coach. Brilliant game. Teague is just the best, man. He is just all business. I'm so sorry. I'm so old, these comments. I got to bring in my friend and sometimes man on the show, Mr. Nathan Brooks. Now, remember, Brooks, there's no swearing on this show. How are you, sir?
Do you say that to every guest you have, or is it just me?
Every guest I have. How are you?
Okay, good. I'm very good. Impressive win, Schnaz. I don't think Sharks fans can be disappointed with what happened tonight. It was an amazing second half. I think you could see from the start when Strange was a late withdrawal, you could see the momentum was building. But it was a bit funky the first 20 minutes, wasn't it?
Absolutely. Maybe 30 minutes, I thought.
Let's say 28 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, they went into the half with a good try. the Forsberg try was lucky, wasn't it? Like they had
he
all
just
the
sort of fell
ball,
over. Yeah.
had all the ball, all the possession, they had all the position, and yeah, it was at halftime. I was like, I think you boys have got it. Like I was sitting there watching the game with a couple of mates, and I was like, I can't see the Sharks losing this. Obviously, you need things to play out. So Sungy went over. It was 12-all. But then it was pretty dominant in what the Sharks did in terms of the kicking game, the chase. I was impressed by the forward pack and those edges and Colquhoun. Like, what is going on there with your 13, 12, and 11 Schnaz? They probably cost you $175,000 combined.
Yeah, so Teague's essentially a millionaire compared to the other two. Like, yeah, I mean, you guys know. I mean, sorry, Brooksy knows about Billy Burns because he's a Dragons man, and I don't know what's going on there, brother. He's found his form, and he's keeping Britton Nickera he's legitimately keeping him out of his starting spot.
But credit to Nickera, when he came on, he made some good runs, didn't he?
Absolutely.
It was a really good spark. He came on for Fanua, like, he made those important runs just to get momentum, get over halfway, get into good kicking positions. The Raiders were on the back foot. Ricky had how many halftime sprays do you reckon Ricky had burnt by the time he got in there at halftime? It was over. I looked at when Fox shot the camera shots in the Raiders sheds. Hawes was looking at this little scab on his knee. I was like, they're getting bounced. It's straight sets time, baby. It's like Sharkies all day. And when they went down the left, it looked pretty promising. And that was sort of what the Broncos did the week before, where they went down that Fogarty, Timico, Jed Stewart area. Ronaldo went over untouched. And I was a bit disappointed they didn't go down there more often. If anything, they did go right. It felt like they went more right in their 20. But, mate, you guys must be stoked. Final four.
Yeah.
And we thought Fanua Blake was the guy. Like we've talked, we thought Fanua Blake was going to be the guy. I'm not saying he didn't do anything tonight and he wasn't the focal point, but it was the guys that you've brought in throughout the year that have done the job. And to Fitz's credit, he's stuck by his spine. He's stuck by the key people in the team. And when injuries and suspension have happened, he's brought in guys and he's kept them in there. And you can't really say that for many of the other teams in the NRL. Like they've basically been mind screwed with positional play and people. And the Sharkies have done a hell of a job just going like, this guy's playing well, we're keeping him. I know Daniel Atkinson's the good half, but we're sticking by this 6 and 7. And credit, like Fitzy deserves Coach of the Year. He does. He's done a hell of a job at the back end of the year. What's that, 9 of 10?
I think so, yeah.
Is it 9 of 10, Schnaz?
Yeah.
That's what Coach of the Year material is. And like, look, I'm a Dragon, I'm a Steeler, I'm a Shark Stadium hater, but you've got to give it to the Sharkies right now. Unbelievable. Well done.
Yeah, thank you, Brooksy. It's great to hear from you first of all, and yeah, I mean you've nailed it. You have thrown me a bit with the Coach of the Year comment, though. I'm not disputing it. I love the guy, but interesting. Coach of the Year.
It's got to be like, we know that the Dally M is regular season, and we know there's other leagues that do regular season, but this is when it counts. And he's made the decisions in the last 2 weeks to stick by certain players and got you to a prelim. There's been a plethora of pressure on Fitzy and Hannay and Price. I don't want to single out Fitzy. I think the three of them have been amazing. And it's no wonder the Titans are taking Hannay on. Like, you've got a really good coaching staff there. And I think it's not just saying Fitzy's coach of the year; it's the coaching staff, right? It's the decisions that are made. It's putting your balls on the line and keeping a New Zealand international out on the bench after a suspension because a guy that's on minimum wage is killing it. And that's what you need to get through these games. And look, the Raiders have been hyped up massively prior to the Broncos game. And you saw what experience and lack thereof did tonight. They were bad. Simi Sasagi was probably their best player.
He was.
That just tells you where they're at. And you know what? My boys lost straight sets in 2009 and bounced back in 2010. I hope for Raiders fans that happens, but it's a Sharks podcast and we've got to big up your boys. And you've gone down to Melbourne, you've had some big games down there. What's your take on that? Chaz, what do you think the boys need to possibly improve or need to step up in next week with the Storm?
Definitely the handling needs to be more like the Canterbury game where it was at 95%. Like, okay, you might not get that high, but today it was at 1.59%. It was like, well, what are you doing? This is BS, Even in the Penrith prelim last year, they dropped a lot of ball. So you got to learn from that. My number one thing will be just cut out the errors. I don't expect you to be perfect. Play like the second half, play like the Roosters game, but I'd prefer they play out the Bulldogs game, to be honest, and just tough type footy. And I believe now they've got what it takes. Melbourne are an unbelievable club. They're going to be so hard to beat, but we're going down there. That's who we're facing, and there are at least some things there. Like their right edge is not good at all defensively. If they pick Hughes, he's going to be a little bit underdone. He's amazing, don't get me wrong, but he'll be underdone. If they pick the kid, well, he's a kid. So there's a few little pros there, and I'm excited, man. The number one thing is, Brooksy, go down there and treat it like the special game that it's going to be, but don't change a thing. Do the same travel, pick the same team, play the same way, and go in with that. Like, I don't want any statements from the club this week. I don't want, and Steve, we're going to get to you in a sec, brother. So hang on. I don't want any Nico outbursts. I don't want any Ronaldo outbursts. I don't want anything. I don't want to hear from them this week. Right. But go on.
I was just going to say, you guys out-Rickied Ricky with the statements, and that was the best thing that came from it. Like, it wasn't like it was outbursts that Ricky would do, but you did exactly what you needed to do over the last few weeks to prepare for a Raiders game from a team that had already used those outbursts, like trying to rest players and then get the days off. I think what Nico and Ronaldo did was perfect. And like you said, it's Melbourne Storm. It's prelim time. It's like, let's knuckle down and let's just do our media. Let's do it like we're stoked we're here. Final Four. This is what we aim for.
Yeah.
Not many teams go down to Melbourne and win, let alone in finals time. And, you're there. You're going to be there the day before an AFL Grand Final. There's going to be a lot of buzz in the city. There's a lot of AFL fans that love the Melbourne Storm because of the nature of the Melbourne Storm. From the get-go, Eddie Maguire was like, remember when the salary cap thing happened and we benefited from that. And we got a grand final, which I don't think there's an asterisk next to the Dragons premiership, but there technically is. But it's like they galvanized that city from the back of that, and it still continues. And it's like, we want the Storm to keep winning. Everyone will be in Melbourne. There's not technically a Melbourne team in the AFL Grand Final now because Geelong, they're like the Wollongong of Newcastle, right? So it's like they'll get behind the Storm. They want to see this dirty rugby league competition won by a Melbourne team. So it is volatile situation that the Sharkies are going down there. So I'm looking forward to it. The big thing for me too, Shnaz, is you've got the best middle in that game. Adam Fanua-Blake, he got a nice rest there in the second half. And I can't help but think that Fitzy was thinking a bit ahead to give him a bigger spot because he knows what's coming ahead. And Nickera did an awesome job. And I want him to go dominate. I'm not going to get Spud Carroll and go, I want 20 runs, 200 metres, and go in the sheds at Amy Park and just tell all the 8, the 10, and the 13 to give it to me. But I think that's if Adam delivers that, what a signing.
Yeah, for sure. And just to double down on what I was saying, I want them to go down there with every confidence and get the job done. But I'm also super happy to be the underdog again, which they will be, and they should be, of course. But they are the form team of the finals. They're the form team of the NRL. Like defensively, Brooksy, we're averaging about 14 points a game, and that's awesome. So good time of the year to do it. I'm going to love you and leave you, my man, because my man Steve's here hanging on and wants to talk. Great to talk to you though on SharkCast. You're always welcome, Brooksy. You know that.
I know. I'm grateful for the neutral experience right now. But
yes.
I'll get on next week.
All right.
Win,
sounds
lose,
good,
or draw.
man.
Well, no draw, but yeah, obviously, yeah.
Let's just go win. Have a good night.
Up. Oh my
See you,
God.
brother. You said it.
See ya.
See you, brother. Love you. Bye. All right. From one ledge to another, and sorry to keep him waiting. Here comes Steve. How you going, Steve?
Good, man. I had to watch it on delay. I was out, so I had to avoid the score, and only just finished watching it
Let's talk about this because this sort of thing fascinates me because I've been in that position a handful of times in my life and it's not good. So
it's not like
you had something you couldn't get out of, in other words?
Couldn't get out of it. So all notifications off on the phone, or even turn messages off, everything like that. It's all notifications off.
And you went in not knowing anything.
Not knowing anything.
Okay.
So yes, I just finished watching it like 10 minutes ago.
Excellent. Okay. And tell us what you saw. What do you think?
Well, I know you don't want them to say anything about next week. In the immortal words of MJF, Melbourne Storm, we're better than you, and you know it.
Oh, Steve, stop it. I think you're the first person to quote MJF on this podcast. I may be wrong, but okay. Obviously, I don't want to hear the club say that to them. But tell me about what you saw tonight. We'll get to that. Tell me what you saw tonight.
I was impressed. Ball handling in the first half was a bit of a struggle, but that can happen. You know, there's always 2 ups, 2 downs to every game. You know, there's always 2 positives. You can always find 2 negatives. But the Trindle kicking game is fantastic. The goal line defense was great. The Corey Hawes try that could happen to any team. You know, that was just that. You know, if his body shape doesn't come down like that, he doesn't have the option to put the ball down. But they worked really well as a team. The middles did their job. They held, and a Trindle kicking game, and it was very much like the game last week in that first half. That last 10 minutes of the half, we struck twice. It was nearly watching a replay of last week, and we hit that twice. And again, it was like the second half started like last week, where Canberra came out and they got that try, but we took the hits. Then we got on top. You know, and we scored a try. And that was an unlucky. Hero scored a lucky second, but you still got to be in that position. You've got to be down there. You've got to be contesting it. And that was them not trying to take the ball on the full. That was their fault that set that try up. So, and then everyone just worked well. You know, we lost Hazelton. We kept going. And I think that's the players can play those bigger minutes. Billy Burns, I mean, he's on fire. And a lot of people say, he's reserve graded, but if you look at his history, Sam, like he was ex-Australian schoolboy or New South Wales under-19s, went from Penrith to the Dragons. Now, remember, at the Dragons at the time when he went there, they were in all sorts of trouble. It wasn't just him. I mean, he went there as a 19 or 20-year-old. Ben Hunt wanted out of the club. No player played well whilst there. Then he come back into a good system. You know, systems work for players. You know, you see sometimes you go from our club now and you go to a lesser club, then we have probably the 3rd best system in the game. So he went from Penrith with a number 1 system to the Dragons with no system, back to us with a great system. So he's improved. So he's come back, and he was never a world beater when he went. Then everyone said, "Oh, Billy Burns." No one performed well with the Dragons, and he fits in well, and he does his job, and he's got his confidence. It took him time, and yeah, he's got that bigger body too, which I think really helps Nico out there on his defence. And then we can bring Nico on. But Blake Brayley, I mean, he just carved him up. I mean, that's what we've been for how many years? That he would do that against a bottom team. Remember, you would know. You do podcast after podcast. He'd have the blinder against the Tigers.
He's finally arrived. Like
that's it.
He's been that good all year. He was good last year. There's no one now that can say, well, he's a bit hot and cold. It's like, no. He's very, very good. He's elite, is what I would say. He's elite.
That's it.
And I think that he will. I think he will make that kangaroo tour. I've got a feeling. I really do.
Yeah, and Kevy can't say that on it. You know, he can't say it. But you know, you need probably a top 4. If you can have a top 4 player in your spine, you can't have 4 of them. But we've got one. We've outright got one. You know, and Trindle's performance tonight is sort of reminiscent to the finals game against the Cowboys last year. Remember when he had the blinder? He did it in a different way to last year. Those kicks, they were Cleary-like. They were pinpoint. And the one that he had, I think the first one went over the dead ball line, but it didn't matter. It was like early on in the game, everyone's defense level is up high, so you can come out to the 20. It's going to be a very minimal effect. But overall, they played really well, you know. And then, of course, the two downs would have to be ball handling. Got to get that. It's Melbourne. You've got to get it right. You don't want to be going, we're going to pounce on Melbourne 10 minutes before the end of the first half. That might not happen. I think they just got to get that done perfectly. I think there's not much else, you know. They can maybe strengthen up the right side attack. I mean, the Raymond Katoa, but Raymond's never had the silky hands. But, you know, and go attack that Melbourne right-hand side. That's their weakness. We went to the Canberra side, and we've got some guns on our side. So yeah, we're in with a chance. I mean, we're up to the same position we were last year.
Yeah, definitely in with a chance. I thought Jesse Ramian was off his game tonight, and it wasn't just one handling error. I thought out of all the guys, I need to see a bit more out of him.
Yeah,
and it didn't really cost us anything. Like it's fine. Like people are allowed to have off games, but I thought he was nowhere near his best. Put it that way.
No, and it was a double. It was like, remember, he drops the ball. He's sort of struggling. And the next minute, Kennedy drops the bomb. It's like, players where we've said in these big games, there's certain players out there, and it was like, here's 2 of them within 30 seconds.
I'll say to Will's credit, I thought he bounced back pretty good. I thought overall, especially defensively, when you watch the replay, maybe you already saw it, but he was caught at marker a million times, and every time I was like, oh, this is a problem. But he found a way to kind of work it out.
And I don't mind the high tackle. The high tackle on
Save the try. Save the try.
Seb Chris, he went for it was a defensive. He went for a tackle, and he stopped the guy. He could have been lazy and just flung a hand out, and the guy goes around him and scores a try, which we've all had a go at him over the years about doing that. He put his body on the line, took the penalty, stops the try, we give away a penalty, and we reset. That's what you expect. So, he stood up. But for Noah Blake, again, led from the front. Toby's game, he wasn't up to last week, but then again, it's not going to always happen. But Talakai came on, and he was doing damage again.
He's unbelievable, Talakai. Yeah. Every week, I just love him more and more, and it seems like every week he's playing less and less. He's just as impressive, and it tends to kind of get us back in the hunt. So it's an odd one, but I'm not changing anything at this point.
And I mean, every week I get more impressed with Jesse Colquhoun. I mean,
he was good tonight. He was good.
You look out there, you wouldn't think that our captain's injured. You would not think we haven't missed a beat. We honestly haven't missed a beat. He's that bigger body again. And when he got smashed early on, that's when you see how good a player is. When he got up, played on, kept going. It was like everyone can look good going forward. That's how they all look good. It's when you get hit hard and you get up and get back into it. And then he came back on in his second stint and he made yardage. And he is very direct with how he plays. And and Teague, that was again, he made a bust early on, line break early on, the try with the little kick. But he was immense. Probably a lot of people miss how much work he did out there. I mean, he was really good. I mean, I don't know, 3, 2, 1. I'd have Trindle, I'd have Teague, and then I would go with Fanua Blake. But that's me. But
Teague's Teague is the quiet assassin out there in both attack and offense. Like he's just, I say it every week. He's all business. You can barely get him to smile. He's exactly who you want him to be. And tonight, I mean, I know it was the icing on the cake, that try, but I mean the fact that a big guy like that who barely kicks I've never seen him kick a ball. I don't think. I'd have to look it up, but maybe he has. But for him to score that try, which ultimately didn't mean anything in the end, but it was an amazing piece.
Yeah,
it just shows how skillful he is. He was the under 18s Origin captain. Like he plays exactly how you want an edge back rower to play. Like he's just so physical, and he was immense tonight. I agree. Like he was fantastic.
And that little kick, even though it might be one off, that just means next week near the line, does a Melbourne Storm player go, just pause for a second, because is he going to kick it? And that pause for a second is all he needs to maybe set up a try or score a try himself, or just make it a little bit harder. But he's come on leaps and bounds. And those edge back rowers, they don't, when they first start, they all sort of struggle. It's a tough position. And you always look at the elite ones, and Teague's there now, and they all took, like Teague, your Liam Martin, your Angus Crichton, at game 30 or game 40, they weren't elite. It took them time. Because it's a physical position where you play. You're expected to do a lot of hitting, and you're not as big as the prop. And also you're trying to mark some far, you've got the quick guys out there as well. So you've got to be nimble on your feet, because you can be made look bad very quickly. So, he's come along. I mean, that was probably our best performance all year. And I mean, to Canberra, they tried, but hey, it's happened to us in '88.
It did. I as a young man, I got a harsh. That was my first harsh rugby league lesson. Was '88. That was it.
I tell you, and we did the wrong thing. I used to be season ticket holder when we won the JJ Gilletson Shield. They did a lap, Sam. They did a lap.
I was there.
And
I remember.
I was sitting next to people who'd been there since '67, and they're going, no, because it was like we'd won something. We'd won nothing. In the end,
I think I was. I think I was the end of. I was young, and but I was there, and I went to most home games.
We played St. George.
I remember what I was going to say. I was trying to work out something else, but I was too young to realize that it was a bad thing, because I was up on the seat cheering, and hey, we did it. We won the JJ Haggins this, and then I found out, obviously reading about the next week while we lost, it was like, oh, they probably shouldn't have celebrated so hard.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a debate for another time. But I do feel for Canberra. We're not here to talk about them, but I do feel for them. They've been the best team all year, legitimately. And I think if the 5/8 plays, it's a lot closer. I don't think they win based on how we played, but obviously they're going to be a better team. But that's footy. Like, you can't control that. The kid was sick. That's unfortunate. And as soon as I heard it, I went, look, it's not a guaranteed win, but it's a huge advantage. And if we're a legitimate club, which I now know we are, we take advantage of it. And they did.
That's right.
The other thing, Steve, I loved is they didn't hammer that left side of ours, their right edge, but they went there when they needed to, and they got some really nice results. But they didn't go there every single play. It was maybe 5 out of 10 plays. Like they didn't.
Yeah.
They sort of gave them a bit of relief, and then it was go time. It was just, they knew it was in their back pocket. And I thought that was, right. I don't know if it's good coaching, but very good game management, you know?
Yeah, because they would have, then Ricky would have switched. He would have made some moves that could have changed the game by taking it now and then. He's probably hang firing what he's doing. And I mean, look, it's maybe they, you know, when we went out in straight sets, very similar a couple of years back, we had that extra time game. And then everyone said, remember, we had a soft run. We hadn't, and true, we hadn't beaten the big guns. Yep. And their run this year is very similar. You know, they hadn't been there before. A lot of their players have had no experience. Their forwards might have, but their back line, I don't think they've hardly played rep football, nor have they played in finals. And you could see Keon Weeks. Everyone, he's a gun, but sometimes, you know, a big game, he goes missing. But that is, again, that's what happens when they haven't got a lot of experience. They might be better for it next year.
But I also think that he didn't have that many opportunities.
No.
I want to read out something. I want to read out something from Daniel. I won't pop it up because it's quite big. But Daniel said, this is frustrating to listen to because people have been bagging Fitzy, a number of the players who played tonight all season. Now we start winning. It's all positive and how great they are. Best thing for us to keep being the underdogs, because each time, since I can remember, we're known as the informed team. We lose up, we can do this. So a bit of negativity and positivity there from Daniel. And I understand what he's saying. I mean, that's what this podcast is about. Like, people have their opinion, and as everyone knows, as long as it's above board, you say what you want. You yourself, Steve, you know, you can come off the back fence, and that's your absolute entitlement.
I've had a shot at people, you know that.
I know that. And so what I was going to say to Daniel was, I understand what you're saying, and I think I addressed that with RCB a little bit, because he's been into me about the coach a lot, and I've sort of very privately defended the coach to him in a friendly conversation, like RCB and I, we text, whatever. But I'll say this to Daniel as well. Like, if you lose a game, you're going to look to why, and if there's a pattern, and it's nothing personal. People just have that opinion. But I understand what he's saying. But what I do want to say is, and I want your opinion on this, Steve, is he wants us to keep being the underdogs. Now, I think for starters, we will be underdogs because we're going to Melbourne and Melbourne's Melbourne, right? Like, I get that. But you'll also have people saying, you know what? Sharks can probably do it based on the form. So I think we're in a sweet spot. And as I said to Brooksy before, I just don't want anyone to come out and stir the pot. Like, now I haven't thought long and hard about it, but my gut says just go in there and do what you're doing, but don't stir that pot. You know what I mean?
That's why I went and did it as soon as you said it was firstly there. But I'm not one of the players trying to stir,
the fans can do whatever they want. Yeah. I'm talking about the guys at the media when they're doing media, podcasts, whatever. I would honestly just say, just play it safe, guys. There's no need. You've said what you've said. You've proven your point. But this is a different beast. Melbourne is a different beast to the Roosters and to Canberra. So, yeah, that's
you know, it's only one player you got to calm. You know, it's only really one, and he stands out on the wing.
I don't mind in game. I don't want Monday at media or Tuesday at media or Thursday at media, and then Bellamy has it up on the blackboard. This guy said this about you. And then, you know, the guy is out leaping. Who's the winger? They've both got amazing wingers.
Xavier Coates.
I didn't want to. Oh, my God. Why did I even start thinking about who they're playing?
It's Coates versus Katoa.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we saw that the other week against the Roosters. So,
and look, I look at that Melbourne Storm team, and when I don't see Nelson, I'm always happy because Nelson seems to perform well against us. So when I don't see Nelson in the team, I breathe a sigh of relief because he can just do damage, you know. And then their team's up and down. It like, you know, if they switch on, they're very, very hard to beat.
Yeah,
but they're not. This competition this year is really even. This is not Penrith aren't Penrith of the last 4 years. Like they could still win the comp, not a problem. And but they haven't been the standout above. They've come back to the pack. The pack has sort of like everyone's in there, and there's not much difference. Like, last year we were in that third, fourth. We were in there. We weren't 1 or 2. We were 3, 4, outright 3, 4. This year, it's a real, we're in, and now with 5 teams left, we've got as much chance as any one of those 5. I don't see there's not much of a difference. So it's just the luck of it could be an injury. We had Hazelton go off tonight. What happens next week? If Jerome Hughes comes back, he's not 100%.
Yeah,
he's liable, he could go down in the first 5 minutes, and then Melbourne's got to do massive reshuffle. And that could be enough. And then it's a big risk. And then Pappenhausen, And then we've got Kafusi's obviously back next week because Hazelton is out.
He will
with
be
Cat 1.
Yep.
So, and then, Kafusi can do a job,
Absolutely.
and actually, and he's a great defender. So, it's just a matter of keeping Ronaldo calm this week. And they didn't get him like huge. They said he scored 100, but there was no real big thing tonight about him. That's an amazing effort to score 100 tries.
Third player to do it for the club, and he will surpass Peachy at some point soon, maybe next year. And
he's only 10 behind Peach.
Yeah, and I've said to him, I reckon you can get ET. The way that they're playing, you can get ET.
Oh, the amount of games he's played compared to, ET longevity, considering he started at 18.
Yeah.
He's on target. So Ronaldo's started in 2019. So he basically was in and out of the team. So he's had 20, 21, 22, 6 seasons. If he plays another 5,
he's on track.
He could hit 200 tries. He's 165.
Now, what about this from Jesse? Jesse said, could we win the comp outside the 4? That would be sweet. Imagine the journos and the experts. So we haven't even considered that we could be the ones that do this. Like, this is newfound territory.
And I know you can't answer this.
Yeah.
You can't answer it, Sam, because I know who Jesse's aiming at.
Oh boy. I saw a bit of the coverage tonight, post game and at halftime while I was doing other things. And there was definitely a turning of the tide, but pre-game, they were sticking tight pre-game. But I was going to say, Steve, you know me well. People who listen every week know me.
Yep.
Like, obviously, this consumes me, right? And it consumes all of us.
Yeah.
It's kind of crept up on me, in all honesty, where we're at now. It's kind of gone from, oh man, we should have been in the top 4. I'm really disappointed we didn't get 2 bites. To, oh cool, we beat the Roosters at home. What a great win. Da 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 da. And now we've rolled Canberra in Canberra, and we're going to a prelim. We've been there a few times in the recent years, which is great. But legitimately, as you said, if we play our cards right, we could do what Jesse's saying and be the team that creates history. But this has just crept up on me, even though we're 9 of the past 10. Like we've been in good form for 2 months. I don't know if it's the sort of the hesitant being a Sharks fan, or if it's the thousands of people that write to us every week and who go, well, we'd be better if this. It's like all of a sudden it's like, oh man, we're kind of where we wanted to be. So it's kind of refreshing in a weird way, because it's been such a long season. But now it's going to be an amazing week. There's a lot to look forward to, a lot of fun to be had.
I think you're right. I think the season's long. I think it's because we're expected to make the finals. So straight away, it's going through the season. You go, okay, if you're a team who's missed the finals year in year, you get excited from the Canberra fans would have been pumped, all year pumped. They're not where they thought they'd be. They're up with a big chance. We're going, and I'm on the forums as well, and I get down on fits sometimes. And at one stage when we were, hanging around 7th, I think it's going, it's better not even to make the finals this year. Doesn't even matter, because we're going to go in, we're going to get knocked straight out. And then you're right, we get in, play the Roosters, beat them. Okay, all of a sudden Canberra has this draw over time. All of a sudden you start thinking, okay, maybe a chance. Then we win, and you're watching. Melbourne's not playing that. When you look at the other half of the draw and you're going, well, the Bulldogs are injuries, they're struggling. Brisbane is up and down. because they could have been lost last. And you've got the Panthers, who aren't as good as they were. So start thinking, okay, this is a chance. And we could be playing. This was where it could actually be really funny, Sam. It could be 5th playing 6th in the grand final.
That would be fun.
And that would be the teams who came in. That'd be the first time the 267 teams play in a grand final. We've
look, I don't want to start predicting or talking about who I want to play.
That's who I reckon that's who'll make it from their side.
For some reason, I just don't. Yeah, for some reason, I just don't want to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's who I think from that side of the draw.
I
think the Panthers will get through. I reckon it'd be a great us playing them. I think it'd be it'd be a great type of grand final.
I heard the GOAT Gallon say during the week, it might have been on his show, I'm not sure. He said, it doesn't matter who you play. Like at this point in time of the year, you're just happy to be there. You've earned your spot and you have to play someone really good to win the grand final. And so I'm going with the GOAT. Like I don't want to play them, but you know what? How happy would I be if we make the grand final and we play any one of those teams? So it'd be amazing. So we'll get to that.
Doesn't live in Brisbane. Gallon doesn't live in Brisbane.
No, he doesn't.
We lose to Brisbane.
Yeah. Right, because you're from Brisbane. We got a long 80 minutes before that. So we're definitely not getting ahead of ourselves.
No, we just got to get through next week, get through no training mishaps, do everything right. The players all look good. No one seemed to be limping around or anything like that.
Yeah, I feel like Tommy was the only real casualty, which is very unfortunate. But get through next week and he'll be right for the week after, I would imagine. So
that's right. And what did you think of the tackle? I always keep going back to the Finucane tackle against Penrith, and every time I go, it to me looked like he I don't know. It's a tough one, and I think what saved Starling was Hazelton's like a foot taller than him.
Yeah. We have a group text with all the podcast people, and Josh Bolling won't mind me saying he was going off his tree about it. And I was like, I don't see much. Like I saw it looked like an accidental head clash. Tom is legitimately 2 feet taller than him. Like I didn't see a lot of, because what happened? Was there a penalty? Was it on report?
No, nothing.
Play the ball.
No, you could see Tom was out cold when you can look at their eyes and tell.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I thought maybe because of the injury, they might do something, they might react. But honestly, and I'm looking for any advantage in this game, I didn't feel comfortable with that being a sin bin, put it that way.
Look, it's a tough one. The thing is, because we got done on it, I think we now look every time there's a head clash against one of our players, we're looking, hang on, we got caught. Is it for someone else? And and I always get amazed when there's a head clash that one person normally goes down, the other person seems to be ill-affected.
That was interesting. I thought, maybe that guy's concussed as well.
Yeah. And I was worried about Ronaldo tonight. I didn't want him having a go at a player because I know you can't have a go at players now. And
I thought they played with just enough menace to win the game, but there was no extra stuff going on. I was pretty happy with it. That they went down to do a job. It's the ultimate thing. Just they knocked Canberra out in their own place. They shut up the media. Should the unthinkable happen next week and we lose, and then the media go, well, we told you they were no good anyway. It's like, well, no, actually, after we beat the Raiders, you said we were pretty good. Some of you are saying we can go all the way. So it's like, I feel like I'm not really worried about the media stuff anyway, but I feel like we've proven our legit status.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I thought we proved it against, well, not so much against Penrith last year, but to get to that point, I was super happy. A lot of people, I reckon yourself included, Steve, might say for this to be a good year, we need to go one step further and get to the grand final, let alone win it.
It's an improvement.
Yeah. And I understand. I completely understand that. I don't necessarily jump on that because I just look at how hard it is to get here, man. Like, look at Canberra. They're in the box seat. And okay, they muddled it up last week. They legitimately lost it last week. This week, some bad luck. Their best player goes down. That's how quick it can change. So I don't necessarily go, well, we didn't go one step further, so it's a bad year. I'm more inclined to go, oh, we made the prelim. Only 4 teams make it.
Yeah.
I'd love to go further. I think if you make the prelim like 4 or 5 years in a row and not go further, that's a bit of a thing, you know. But like South did that a few times. But no, overall, just super happy that we're there. But that's not going to be enough. I don't have that attitude where it's like we've got nothing to lose. I think we've got everything to lose. I think if we go in there and lose, it's going to be the end of the world. Like we should. And I know the team is, but as fans, we should be crying out to be making this grand final, let alone winning it. Because you're 2 games away. You're 2 games away, Steve. Let this sink in. 2 games away from being the premiers. 2 games.
That's it. And you might not get another chance. There's nothing to guarantee that next year they'll be in the finals. Because I always look at it like Fitz has been there 4 years. And if you look at it, so he's made 2 prelims. So also in the last 4 years, so that means basically, you know, that's 8 teams a year make the finals. So that's 32 teams in 4 years. 4 teams have made that each year. Us, the Panthers, the Storm and the Roosters. So those 4 teams have taken up half the slots. What's not to say we become one of the other 13 teams and are struggling for one of those slots? It doesn't take much for it to turn and you just start to drop down. And then these players don't see another prelim again. It doesn't take much. You know, considering, let's say the Panthers win tomorrow, that means 3 out of the 4 teams in the prelim out of the 4, 3 were there last year. And then the Broncos had made the prelim the year before, or they made the grand final. Penrith were there, Melbourne were there, and it wasn't us, it was someone else. So again, it's 3 out of those 4 again. It's a very consistent thing. It's very hard once you drop out to get back in to that little elite group. And we're in there at the moment. So you've got to take your chance before you drop, because you don't stay there forever. Eventually, you drop out. So you've got to take it. Like as a Panther supporter, they've got 4 in a row. You can sit there and if you know, you and me, if we were supporting that mob and they've won 4 in a row, we could sit here for the next 20 years and we wouldn't care, because we've got all those in the bank. We need another one in the bank so we can relax for a couple of years before we stress again.
I agree. Jay says that AFB played 67 minutes. Fitzgibbon in the presser said he could go if he had to go longer due to the Hazleton HIA. AFB replied and said, I think it's a quote, "Whatever you need, I'll do it." So that's why we bought him. And I maintain him. I thought he was a little bit quiet in that first half, but it didn't matter because his second half was unbelievable. And he played 67 minutes. Jay also says Teague Wilton is our Luke Lewis 2.0. So some high praise for Teague Wilton, and deservedly so. He's been absolutely outstanding.
And I think if you look at AFB, Sam, in his first stints, he's more out there and he holds his own. He's making sure we're not losing any ground. He makes his yardage. It's that second stint where he does his damage. That first stint, because, you know, their props are fresh as well. So they got their first string props out there and they're fresh. So it's more a battle where you just want to hold. And that second stint is where he does his damage. That's where I sort of see it each time. The first stint, he's doing what he has to do. He's holding it together. That's why he was brought in, because we would get bullied. We would get bullied early on, and then you were playing catch up the whole time. So, but no, I'm going to have to sign off, Sam. I'm going to need some sleep.
Excellent.
And you can keep going. Oh, you only got 23 more minutes, and you're into Sunday. It's an overnight podcast.
I've told everyone I want to go all night. So if people don't leave me alone, I'll go all night.
You should do that again. If we make the GF, you should do one leading up to it the night before.
Oh, great, Steve. Yeah. So the next day I'm just resting.
Just as a thought, you know. But then you need to be resting up for the grand final.
Yeah, I can assure you that when we get that far, you'll be you'll be so sick of me. And the plan already is this week for the prelim. I can tell you right now, you'll be sick of me because during the week just gone, I was away for about 4 days after the Roosters win, and I did a couple of little things online, but I made up for that when I got back. But it was a bit of a weird week for me because it was like, one of the biggest weeks of the year, and I couldn't really get to everything I wanted to get to. But this week, with the NRLW in a prelim and the NRL in a prelim, you're going to get sick of me, Steve. Even faithful people like you will be like, oh, no, he's posting again or something. So
never get sick of you, Sam. Never get sick of you. That's what
it's going to be. It's going to be fun. It'll be fun.
When you've got the #1 Sharks podcast globally, what do you expect? You've got to keep it going. There's people listening around the world, and I guarantee there is.
I know there is. And I appreciate each and every one of them. And that's from the heart. And I'm super excited. Like prelim, like we've done a few. Like we did 2016, 2018, and last year. And so it's been really good. Like since we started doing the pod, the team's been really great. But I just. There's something about this team this year that is really special. And I'm not just saying that because they're 9 from 10. It's just things that I get to see and things you get to see. And it's about the timing. The timing is just amazing. Anyway, you want to go to sleep and I'm going to keep you from going to sleep. So please, if you need to go, please do.
Okay. I was going to say one quick thing before I go. So when you're talking about the team, it's this. I think it's the squad, because if you have a look overall, it's even those borderline players who not getting. I mean, tonight Oregon didn't get a start. And you got your Herodis. When they've all came in, your Dan Atkinsons, they've all did their job. So it's like if someone's out, we've had people. It's not like you're going, oh, geez, we're into the finals. We've got injuries. Who we going to drag up? It's just amazing. It's like, okay, Hirotti's standing ready to go. Kafusi's ready. Dan Atkinson, Stone Street, even I can't get his name out at the moment. Tukes. They've all come in and done their job. And that is so important because it keeps the pressure from, and we've seen this with Billy Burns, his performance has put, and I reckon every one of those players out there is going to say, Billy's done that. Geez, I don't want to slip up because Mawini's going to get called up or Sam's going to get called up and they're going to come in and make it. And he's got that squad humming because you look at when you see him name the 21 for the weekend and you're going, oh, yeah, fine. You don't sort of go, oh, there's 3 of them there. We're worried if they have to play. And Steve, we've been in that.
I got to say, like, you're 100% right. I don't think about this that often because there's no need to. But remember all those years where even if you pick a good year like 2012 or 2015, and then just be 1 or 2 guys where you go, oh, I just know you're going to let me down, respectfully. Yeah. Honestly, okay, since the premiership season, you could pick some guys. I get that.
Yeah.
But honestly, definitely this year, and I think under most of the Fitzgibbon regime, because he's stuck with the team so tight, I don't have those issues at all. No. And that goes back to great recruitment. But it's interesting you bring that up because especially in those lean years, say like 09 to 11, for example, for more recent time, or 14 if you want to, and you look at the team on the Tuesday and you're like, oh man, I reckon I can play better than that guy. And that's obviously really disrespectful, but there's none of that. There's none of that. When I'm talking about our, in inverted commas tonight, our worst player being Jesse Ramian, it's like, that's pretty good.
That's exactly right. Exactly right. And his game wasn't bad because he did take a good bomb. Remember, he did take a good bomb.
It wasn't.
No, it was just that, let's say the base was a 7, he was a 6.5.
Yeah. So
that's not, and that's what he probably would have been, a 6.5. I would have said, it wasn't 5. It was 6.5 because every performance was so much better and he was just below it. But I don't mind a 6.5 is the worst player.
Exactly.
Remember, as you said, back in the old days, 6.5 would have been the best player.
Yeah. Yep. All right, Steve. Great to hear from you. Thanks for calling in. Appreciate it. Have a good night's sleep. And
talk to you soon.
We'll talk to you soon for sure. Have a good week.
No drama,
Enjoy the
Sam.
week.
Take care. Cheers, brother.
Thank you. Bye, Steve. Bye. That was the great Steve from up north. Boy, oh boy. Appreciate everyone tuning in. There's just so many people commenting and loving this win. Sharks win 32-12 off to a prelim in Melbourne. It's going to be a fun week. These don't come around that often, I guess you'd say. They don't come around every year for us, although, what's that? 2 in 2 years? Pretty good. Make sure you enjoy the week. Stay on top of things. Make sure you subscribe to our podcast audio. If you watch on the YouTube, subscribe there. If you watch on the Facebook or the Instagram, subscribe there. We're going to punish you like there's no tomorrow, because sometimes there is no tomorrow. Dan is saying, great, get the great Gaz on. Let me send him a text. I don't know if he's going to jump on. He might be in it. Let me see while I talk to you. But yes, please subscribe. That would be awesome. And it just means that when we don't have time to promote things, that you'll automatically get stuff. It will appear. Whereas there's so many texts here to get through. You people are awesome. I'll say people want the gas. What a great week it's going to be. Melbourne, it's going to be tough. They're a great team, great club. But we are on some roll here. Got to improve that handling. Got to improve it. But Connor said Sharks too good. Absolutely. Our friend Barnesy has joined the feed. Hopefully he saw a lot of merch in Canberra. Great turnout. If I haven't said it, I think I said it at the start of the broadcast. Great turnout of Sharks fans, both in Canberra and traveling to on the TV. It looked unbelievable. And a great, great atmosphere for the club to win there. Haven't talked enough about NRLW. They're going to a prelim against the Roosters next Saturday night. So you got Sharks NRL Friday night, and then you've got Saturday night in Gosford NRL Dub Roosters, which will be super tough. So 2 tough games for our team, our club, but that's all right. That's all right. We're ready for it. Some individual stats here. Of the back line, Katoa made 120. KL Iro made the most meters, 180 meters. He was unbelievable, KL Iro. Mulatalo cracked 140. Trindle finished the game with 2 try assists, 1 line break assist. Hines finished the game with a try, 16 points, 3 line break assists, 1 try assist. So Nico Hines certainly involved. Don't let anyone tell you he wasn't involved. Fanua Blake close to 150 meters. Teague Wilton close to 130 meters. Colhoun almost 100 meters, and off the bench Nickera almost 100. Talakai close to 90. Hamlinwelly close to 70, and poor tall Tom only got 2 runs, and then he was knocked out, and hopefully that's the worst it is, just a concussion. Joe from the cafe said, Mr. Pace's cafe said that he looked okay in the sheds. And that's what's going on. Sharks win 32-12. We are off to Melbourne. It's going to be a fun week. We're going to cover it as much as we can. If you get sick of us, I understand. Now, I'm hanging on here to see if Gary's going to jump on. If he doesn't get back in touch, we'll wrap. Will Kennedy, decent game with a couple of hiccups. Katoa, strong game. Stu's going to call us. Where's Stu? Hey, Stu, how are you?
Good. Shanaz, how are you going?
I'm top of the world. Couldn't be better. Stoked.
Ditto. I've got to leave the camera off because I'm in bed, and I've been messaging because I've got to get up early for golf tomorrow. But I'm just so pumped.
Yeah. So tell me what you saw out there. What did you like?
I only can echo the comments on the defense. Just stoic, and honestly, we looked impenetrable. Like the first try off the back of the Tall Tom KO, I'll forgive. And, you know, they overlapped us once on the edge. I'll forgive that. But aside from that, the defense would. I think I was more stressed watching the game than our defensive line looked for the majority of that game defending our try line. It was incredible.
It's been good for a couple of months, and that was one of the things I took away from that South Sydney game that was so weird. Everyone was freaking out about the Souths game.
Yep.
But we won the game and didn't concede many points. So it's been good for a couple of months. I'm just going to bring in another friend of ours, Stu, so just hang tight.
Go for it.
Hey, Gary, how are you?
Hello.
Yes, and Shanaz.
Hello.
Up Cronulla.
So Stu is online with us. You can't see, you both got your camera. Oh, actually, Gary's got his camera on. It's just dark.
My camera's on, but it's so dark.
Oh, there he is. Hello. Now,
I'm literally laying in bed in the dark, but yeah, I can't sleep. I'm bloody on cloud 9.
So Stu's got to play golf in the morning, but he's refusing to go to bed. Now, Gary, you were a request from Dan, as you can see on the screen. Dan wanted you to get on, and I was like, well, we can try and arrange this, and thankfully you're on the road.
Dan.
Who's driving the car?
Chich.
Yo!
Hey, Chich. Let's go, Chich.
We're cruising
Chich
2 hours to go.
Our friend. Oh, man, to be flying on cloud 9. Just hang on, Gary. We're going to talk to Stu before we let him go to bed. Stu, give us your 3, 2, 1s.
I'm actually gonna. It's really hard. That they were all good, and actually, even the players that I thought that you know made mistakes, Jesse Ramian, Nico Hines, Will Kennedy, they all made up for it. Like Will Kennedy's defense, Nico's defense, Ramian took a few. He diffused a few high balls there at the end that looked a little bit. Really hard to pick a 3-2-1, but I would go AFB 3 because he actually had to cover extra minutes when Paul Tom went down there at the end of the first half, I noticed. But he still managed to have massive impact at the back end. I was really worried at halftime that we wouldn't get that same impact, but he still did it. Blake Brayley, I think, is the future captain for a long time. My God, he's just getting better and better and better and better. Oh, and then I'm gonna sit on the fence and go Nico and Trindle together for 3 because the first 2 tries was both of them linking up so well.
Yeah.
Trindle's kicking game was amazing, but Nico's running game. And when they were attacking the line and they both went to the same edge, they were unstoppable. So, yeah. And that's leaving a lot of very bloody, you know, I just think the defense, you know, it's hard when it's off the back of a defensive effort because that is a team effort and they all did really well. But, yeah, they're my highlight.
All right. Well, Stu, we'll let you go play golf in the morning. I don't think you're going to get any sleep, brother. I think you're just going to be thinking about that defensive line all night long, like I will. And,
I am.
You know, I don't think there's going to be much sleep had. But good luck on the course tomorrow, and we'll talk to you after a Melbourne win next week, all right?
Thanks, boys. Have a good night. Up,
Thank
Cronulla.
you so much. Thank you so much for calling in. Really appreciate it.
See you, Stu.
See you, Stu. All right, Gaz and Jess. Anyone else in the car I should know about?
No, just us two. Just the dream team.
That's all I need. That's all I need. How are you feeling? Talk to me. Like, amazing. Wow.
Yeah, feeling good. It was always going to be tough, but we got it done, and we're both on cloud nine driving home. We've got 2 hours to go, so we need to be on cloud nine because, the drive's a long drive.
Yes, and also you have a very busy week ahead of you, which is
We
what you
do.
want, it's where you want to be. Tell us about the crowd. We saw a lot of blue on the TV. Tell us about the crowd and the vibe and even the Canberra side of things. Give us a bit of an insight to the environment.
Yeah, the crowd was unreal. The little Shark supporters bay on the side there was just going off the whole game. It didn't matter if we were, getting beat up their end or dropping a ball, they'd still get behind the boys. And then, at the back end of that second half, they were just so vocal and so loud. And the Canberra fans were giving it back to them. But, it went back and forth. It was really cool. The Viking clap at the end there was just the icing on the cake.
What about that?
How good.
It must be the worst feeling that like that's your thing and you love it, and then someone just comes in and like does it every time you lose. It's like,
Takes
oh
it.
man.
Absolutely rips it in your face. I loved it. So it was good.
How about that defense, dude? Like I appreciate that our handling was disgusting in that first half. It was at about 59%. I really thought it would be the downfall, Gaz, but that defense, even in those moments, the defense was unbelievable.
Yeah, they just really stuck in for each other, didn't they? It was just, they didn't waver. They just went in and got about their business and got the job done. So, that defensive effort in the first half, we were camped on our line for a long time there. And then, we just ended up breaking them at the back end of that half. And then coming out in the second half, I just knew we'd get the job done. So it was a great defensive performance, and it was good to see us score some points as well.
Yeah, for sure. It sort of surprised me. 32 points in a final against Canberra in Canberra. Man, what a great night. It's hard to, like, we don't have to put it in some sort of order right now, but it's hard to like not talk about how it is one of the better nights in the club's history. Like, obviously next week will be better when we win there, but I think just because of the BS about like, you guys can't play, you can't win, all that stuff that we've heard every week, and the players have addressed it, the clubs sort of addressed it, but to actually put it, put a full stop on that now. Like that storyline is over. We can play in finals.
We can do it all, so keep doubting it.
Sure. But it's just so rewarding. It's so rewarding as a fan.
Yeah, absolutely.
To see them out there just busting their gut. Like, what about the worst fantasy player in the history of the world, Billy Burns, just absolutely being the greatest player of all time?
Chich and I were just talking about that, how he's taking his chance and he's taking those moments, and every time he's on the field, he just produces something special. So whether it's a try or a defensive hit, like, he's always there. He's an aggressive style of a player. So he's keeping Britt out of the team. He's just
Yeah. Can you give us any insight into the coach's reaction post game?
You just cut out. I didn't quite catch that.
That's okay. Any reaction from the coach? Any thoughts?
How was he? Just proud of the effort, and obviously it's not done yet for him and the team, and it's just about getting about their business now, and whatever we need to do to get right for Melbourne, that's what he said we need to do. So the job's not done yet, and everyone's aware of that, and he's super proud of the effort tonight. But it doesn't stop there.
Has Chich not got her phone maps thing on?
She's just getting lost on the highway. Yeah, left here.
Left?
Yeah, left. Yeah, that's it.
This is great. This is outstanding.
This is comedy at its best.
Tell her to look in the Gregory's or whatever it used to be called.
Oh, we're trying to stop.
Look, you just turn right up here. Trust me. Don't worry, we're all sorted.
I don't think this is the stop I was meant to stop at, but that's okay.
All right, we're stopping anyway. We need to refuel.
Chich, it's just great. It's great to have Chich on the show. It's great. Can you give me some words while you're driving, Chich? Is that all right? Give me some words. Talk to me, Chich.
Do you know what? What I don't understand? This is our second prelim in a row. We made it last year, but people forget about that.
I know.
Like, why the hate? Why the hate? I don't understand.
I don't really know. I think it's maybe because maybe our halfback, who we love and adore, he's an easy target. He's so open and honest about what he says and what he does. And then in State of Origin, they put him out wide. He misses a tackle. Then it's his fault. Apparently, the whole city, the whole state burns down. I don't know. I don't know, Chich, but I just think that that storyline's over with. I think that we've proven we're a great club and we're tough, and no matter what happens next week, and I think we will win, but it doesn't matter. Like at this point, as far as that storyline goes, it doesn't matter.
That's right. We're in the prelim, baby.
Are you guys dining in somewhere, or are you getting petrol?
No, but I don't think we can go in. We have to go.
Why? Oh, come on.
Oh, the little window thing.
Bathroom.
Hate the window.
Yeah, all right. Drive through it is.
I don't want some person to pick my thing. I want to pick it for myself. Let me in your store. I'm not going to rob you.
Seriously.
Man,
anyway,
this is a SharkCast highlight here. 11 years, and this could be the best yet, I reckon, this episode.
Oh, man.
All right. I'll let you guys get on with your night. Great to speak to you both. Safe travels, of course. And you'll be seeing me a lot during the week, and you'll be definitely hearing from me. So thank you for tuning in. See you, Jess. Thank you, guys.
See ya.
See you, Shanaz.
Bye-bye. See you. All right. That was the great Sharks crew on their way home. And I think we're going to wrap it up, even though I don't want to. I want to just talk Sharks all night. Don't know how long we can save things and that kind of thing. Oh, Ben Harlem's joined. Look out. Rex says, off to Melbourne, keep the roll going. Such a great momentum for these boys. That's awesome. What day is it? Saturday. Oh, it's about to be Sunday. Is that right? I don't even know what I'm doing. It's about to be Sunday in 30 seconds. Hey, Ben Harlem, do you want to call in? Call in. Danny says he's on his fourth scotch. Yeah, we're still going, Ben. Do you want the link? Lewis, our good friend, said, I came here for the replay and I'm still going. Well, it's a big night, Lewis. What can we say? We're still going. We've covered a lot. That's for sure. And people want to hear from Ben. Let me send you a link, Ben. Where is he? So we did just have Jess from the Sharks and Gary from the Sharks. And pretty soon we're going to have Ben from the United States of America. Maybe we'll just go all night like I promised you all, because we are the greatest club in the history of the world. Danny likes Ben too. Well, I think he's going to come on, all being well with tech. Sharks win 32-12. This is fun. This is really fun. It's so good to win. How good is winning? Convincing win. I haven't even given you my 3-2-1s yet because I've still got to work them out. I'm guessing Trindle is 3 though. That's for sure. Billy Burns keeping Britton Nicker out. Britton Nicker still running for 93 meters. Great depth of the Sharks. I have to say that the NRLW team did really well today. Here comes Benny Harlem. Hey, Ben.
Hi, guys. How are we?
Oh, g'day, mate. What's going on?
I saw you started the stream. Then I went to work. I did an hour radio show. I've just walked back and got back into the apartment, and you're still going. And the people on the message boards complain when we do an hour show, and yet 2 hours and 14 minutes. Who cares? We're in a prelim, guys.
That's right. You understand, Ben. You understand.
How good's this? What's the vibe been like from everybody? This is really exciting.
Everyone's pretty pumped. Yeah, mostly positive, not much negativity, which is great. I think we all concede that first half was pretty poor as far as the handling goes. But the great thing was they just defended their butts off, and so it didn't really matter in the scheme of things, which is not going to be the case against a Melbourne team next week. I don't want to bring everyone down, so they need to improve on the handling. But aside from that, Benny, everyone's pretty proud of the defense. Pretty proud of, I think, the line in the sand as far as don't push us around as a club. You know, I'm pretty proud as a fan that even though I was quite critical of the way that we spoke out in the media, and I certainly don't want to hear any more of it this week, like, good on them for doing it and just living up to their word, like getting that respect.
Yeah, that's that was what impressed me the most, is that sometimes we, and not just this gang of players, but like just traditionally as a club, when we do have the sort of, we come out in the media and we talk about, hey, we don't get that much disrespect, or there's articles about, hey, don't write off the Sharks or whatever. Traditionally, then we go and mess it up that week by like either losing or having a real poor performance or something like that. So that was my one concern, and I know I shared that with you in the week leading to this game, was, okay, like, they're speaking a lot, which is great, but like, you've got to prove it on the field. So to actually come out and beat Canberra, that's pretty cool. Like, I like that, because it's like, well, yeah, Ronnie to Riccio on the field last week was like, shove it up your whatever, brah. He can say brah better than I can. And then during the week, we were like, well, no one thinks we're going to be here. And then look, we just sent Canberra out in straight sets. Like, how good's that?
Yeah, it's fantastic. And the way they did it with that defense and with that hard line, there's been a couple of times in the past two games, Roosters and tonight, where we've made like 15, 20 meters in a couple of sets in a row. And you think, oh, man, this is not good. Like, how are we going to get out of this? And they just do. Like, whether it's a good kick, whether it's a good kick chase, whether it's a Talakai coming on and making 20 meters in the one run, there's ways out of things like that. And it's just, I think a team without this sort of heart and guts and confidence wouldn't get out of those situations as easily. But we tend to like soak it all up, like last week and this week. But I do think there's improvement, Ben, to come. I think I need to see improvement too, to be honest. Like, we're all on cloud nine. It's awesome. But I think if you throw that kind of BS that we did in the first half at the Storm, you're going to concede a little bit.
Yeah. Look, we're in the same amazing position we were last year, right? In NRLW and NRL, where we're in prelims against like super duper sides that no one's going to give us a shot against. And last year we held Brisbane to 0 in the NRLW to get to the grand final, right? Like, super impressive performance. And obviously I thought we did really well against Penrith last year in the men's, and come up just short in the last like 20 minutes or so when Penrith sort of ran away with it. And that's traditionally how we've gone against the Storm at Amy Park, where we're in it for 60 minutes and then all of that defense comes to make the team exhausted in the last 20, which is fair. But we're going to have to start fast, and we're going to have to really, as you said, appreciate the fact that, yes, this is a great moment and we've done very well, but we can't have that same first half or first 30 minutes that we did tonight, this morning, or when we sort of switched off a tiny bit against the Roosters. So, like, how good. We're in an amazing position both in the men's and women's game. Like, what a great weekend ahead of us.
Exciting. Now, Benny, you're not allowed to go anywhere. I'm going to bring in Kobe, who's joining.
Okay.
Kobe, meet Ben. Ben, meet Kobe.
Hi, Kobe. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. What about that game?
Yeah, talk to us. What'd you see? What'd you like out there, Kobe?
Billy Burns.
Yeah.
What a star. I can't believe last year we only signed him on a train and trial, and now he's just a superstar that everybody's saying, oh, you got Billy Burns in the second row. We have Hudson Young and all these players, and Billy Burns shows them up.
It's a great point. It's a great point. I think even I think it was my colleague, so let's go easy on him, Cooper Cronk, said right before the game, Canberra are a better team, but I kind of think Cronulla will win, or they got a good chance or whatever. And he's basing that in some part on what you're talking about, Kobe, going Hudson Young versus Billy Burns. But you can only sort of fairly do it on current form, and he's been unbelievable. That try was so fun. It was shades of Matt Pryor, I thought, in the same venue, different end of the field. But what else is going on, Kobe? Like, how are you feeling about next week?
All right, next week. I'm a bit afraid, but we've been the underdog this whole series. Like Roosters are going to kick you out. Oh, Rooster, and then we beat them. It was Roosters having a shocking game. Okay, let's go out here versus Canberra. We beat Canberra after everybody saying you're going to go to Bali. So I'm feeling confident, very confident. It's obviously down in Melbourne, which is tough ground to play at, and we played down there this season. But then again, we did beat Melbourne at Cronulla, so I don't know. It would be exciting. I'm pumped.
I think that if they play anything close to what they've done, I will say probably since the Canterbury game, then they're going to be in it up to their eyeballs, and it's going to be bounce to the ball or a missed tackle or whatever. Like it'll go down to the wire. But I think that I understand the hesitancy of we're going to Melbourne. It's like out of all the teams, but even they have got some weirdness going on. Like Jerome Hughes might be back, and if he is, he might be a bit underdone. Like he's a champion. I'm not being at all negative, but physically he might be a bit underdone. Pezzett goes out there. He's amazing. I love what that guy does, but he's played like 20 games. Like, let's see how he goes on the big stage. There's just a few things there. Their right edge is no good. There's a few things there. If we can control their kicking game, the wingers, there's ways around it. Like there's ways to do things. But I think at the core, Kobe, is that play like you have the last 3 weeks. We're going to be tough to beat.
100%. Yeah. What's your thoughts on it, Ben?
I kind of I agree with you. You just Sammy just mentioned about Jerome. Like he's already ruled himself out of playing for New Zealand because he's going to have to go in and get surgery. So he's obviously not only underdone, but he knows that he's not all good, right? And we saw in the game where he injured himself again, was the comment everyone said afterwards was, I know it wasn't, he didn't injure the shoulder, but he was so hesitant tackling that's what gave him the injury that has ruled him out for the last couple of weeks. So I think you're both right. Like it's exciting. Good luck to anyone that's trying to book flights and accommodation for the day before the grand final in Melbourne. I wish you all the best. But yeah, it's exciting, like you said, mate. And there are opportunities there, like you said, Sam.
Yeah, for sure. And it's just going to be a fun week. I urge everyone, I was going to say younger listeners, but just everyone, just to enjoy the week, because you never know how your team's going to go over a year. Like, well, this is 2 years in a row, as Chich said before, and it's amazing. But, in my lifetime, I can't tell you that the Sharks have been to like 20 prelims in my lifetime. I mean, I'll have to work out the math, but it doesn't seem like that anyway. And I would just say enjoy the week and absolutely go down there with every intention to win the game, be full of confidence. But as fans, enjoy the week. There's going to be a lot of fanfare. And you know what it's like. The closer you get to the grand final, the more stuff happens. You're in the media. There's more interviews. People paint their houses, all that kind of stuff. I'm all for it. Like, let's enjoy it. And it's a celebration of, we love this club so much and something to be proud of. Like, it's a really cool time for the club. And I know I'm a massive homer about this, what I'm about to say, but I think it all goes back to the coach, boys. The coach has just done a really great job from day one. I know it hasn't been perfect. I know he's made mistakes, but the way he's handled the last 2 months has just been a glowing endorsement for me of why I like the guy so much. And I'm a genuine believer it starts with him and sort of finishes with him. And he's just got this amazing team around him that does great work, both on the field and off the field, both the players and the staff. But he works really hard, and I'm super happy for him, like on a level where he can, because, we all remember Fitzy as a player. He was just this hard ass kind of never say die player. And we haven't always shown that as a club under his regime. We've gotten close, but I feel like this year we're showing it. Past 2 months, very Fitzgibbon-like. Like tonight was very, all business. So I'm super happy for him, but I think he should get a lot of credit. I genuinely believe that.
100%. He deserves all. Well, obviously the players, but yeah, no, for what he's had to go through, and you read Instagram comments and all that, and everybody's like asking for his head when we go down in like the middle of the season. We went down. Everybody's asking like, we need to kick out this player. We need to drop this player, and everybody's wants his head gone. But you gotta say he's gone. He's come in 2022. And he's got us to a final every single year from there. And obviously we want to try to beat bigger teams and we want to win the grand final and all this. But he's doing everything by the book. Like Des Hasler for the Titans didn't do any of that.
Great
play. Geez. Like I love Fitzy.
It comes back to that. It comes back to that point, boys, where I always sort of say you have to be in it to win it. Like you have to be near enough to grab the trophy. If you're not there and people go, well, we never make that next step. It's like, well, I'm pretty sure at some stage we will. Like under John Lang in the 90s and 2000s, we didn't quite do it. And then like, a year or two later, he did it with Penrith. So the guy knew how to win a premiership. It just didn't happen. Sometimes that happens. I get it. If we're near enough every year, at some point, if we're good enough, if the luck comes our way, whatever it is, we're going to knock the door down. And that could be this year. It could be next year. It could be both years. I've got no idea. But I'd much rather be with this coach in this position than, as you say, Kobe, with like a guy who's won a whole bunch of titles, but somehow ends up with the wooden spoon, or at a club like the West Tigers. And I'm not putting shade on them, but they're rebuilding. They've signed a former player for 5 years. It's been unproven. They had a better year, but still not in the 8. It's like, look at us. We're 2 games from winning the premiership, 2 games. So give me that every year. And if we fall over next week, then so be it. Like, okay, we didn't beat whoever in wherever, but we're close, fellas. I can feel it. We're getting close. Kobe, give me your 3, 2, 1s, please.
Yes.
Oh, jeez. 3, Blake Brayley. His running game got us up through the middle. 2, Nico Hines. I actually liked what he put out there. And then 1, AFB. Like
nice.
The runs. Oh, Talakai. Shit.
Well, yeah, you got to do the math. Oh, I haven't mentioned Trindle yet. You got to do all the math.
Yeah, I'm thinking
it's
about
tough.
Trindle.
It's tough. But I like what you're saying.
Yeah, no, 2 and 2 has to be Nico and Trindle, our half carrying, and 3, 1 has to be AFB. Yeah, AFB was good.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right, Kobe, thank you so much for tuning in so late. Really appreciate it. Please call in anytime you like. We love talking to you. And Benny and I are going to bring it home. But thank you so much for tuning in. And we'll talk to you after a Melbourne win next week, my friend. Let's go.
Oh, 100%. We're always going to get
meeting you, Kobe.
Yeah, nice meeting you, Benny.
All right. Talk to you soon, Kobe.
Right.
Thanks, brother.
Take it easy.
Oh, I just got
how
off the
good.
second up. Yes. And
You know
Benny,
what I
I've got
love,
the Coke,
Sam?
The Coke Zero.
You've
going.
got the
Yes,
Coke
what do you
Zero.
love?
That's I love that you've got the Coke Zero. I love the suggestion. Danny suggested you should be drinking milk to rub it in, which I thought that's not to put a finer point on it, but that's very good. But I was listening to the SEN post show on the way to my work, and they I think gave Eero man of the match, and I think that's great. That so many different outlets are giving so many different players man of the match or 3, 2, 1s, and that just shows everybody's seeing something different, which is great. It's not just one standout performer.
I mean, every time he made a tackle, I was like, you're the best center in the game. So he scored a try, ran for 180 meters, 7 tackle busts, 15 tackles, 1 miss. I couldn't tell you what it was. And just a great game. But you're right. He's not even in my top 3, but if I look at that, maybe he is. But yeah, it's a very good point. Like all across the park, the talent was shining. Tell us about you in New York. How did you get to watch the whole game or not really?
So what I've done so last week's game, I didn't want to jinx myself because I was listening to the commentary and we were leading, and then I started to watch the game after the second half, and then that's when the Roosters scored. So I was like, I need to go back to listening to the commentary and just staying in bed and just phone on Do Not Disturb. I've done the same thing this week. So once I'm off with you, I get to do the very fun Saturday of watching the Fox replay and then the 9 replay. Then we'll watch the post show of both, and then we'll go back to watching the replays. Yeah, so I'm really consuming every possible commentary that I possibly can through SEN, Fox, 9. Triple M used to post their commentary. I can't find it anymore. But Kobe brought up a really good point when he was talking about Billy Burns and the fact that people are sort of like, oh, Billy Burns. But like the story came out about him during the week about he almost gave things up, and he texted Fitz and was like, I'll play literally wherever you want me. I'll do whatever. And then you talk about Iro was the same, where he was almost like, okay, I'm just going to go back to the Cook Islands and smash rocks and be an excavator or whatever until he got the shot. So you got to give credit to the coach and that sort of team they've got there for getting the most out of these players. I don't know sort of who deserves credit on like Talakai, but it was the same thing with like Talakai a couple of years ago, where it was like he was just a garbo that was like, maybe the dream's over. But you're looking at all these stories of these players that almost gave up and are playing out of their skin for the club right now.
I think Darren Mooney comes into it as well. There was a story, and that's what I was getting at just before, saying like the prelim week's going to be big with stories. And this week there was obviously more stories about the Sharks as well. And I read one tonight about AFB and the signing of AFB. I knew some of it, but it was insight into how we got him. And he was pretty keen. And I think his wife was a bit hesitant to maybe leave New Zealand or something kind of personal. And he basically said, look, I'm in, but you've got to impress the wife. And so Steve Mace, our friend Steve Mace, the chairman, he stopped what he was doing, caught a plane in New Zealand, met up with Fanua Blake and Mrs. Fanua Blake. Steve's a pretty impressive dude. I think he dined them, chatted with them, spoke from the heart. And then I think if I read it correct, and hopefully I did, go check it out. But if hopefully I read this correctly, I believe AFB said, okay, I'm in. You've just got to impress her now. And it was Mrs. Fanua Blake and Mace. And then she was in. And then they were like, okay, we better tell the coach. And they FaceTimed the coach, and the coach didn't answer. So it was like this great big build-up, and the coach didn't answer his FaceTime. But point is, going to extraordinary efforts to get these people who are going to make a difference. And obviously tonight showed that, well, not even just tonight, like all week, all year he's been terrific, AFB, but tonight he was super, especially that second half. And we needed him being down a prop in Tom Hazelton. So great batch of players. I should point out, if you don't know where Ben is from from the Shire, but he lives and works in New York. That's why we were talking about him and crazy hours and that kind of stuff. So he's essentially a day behind. And he lives in a very peaceful place called America. Dude, what's going on? Like, we're not going to get political. Don't tune out, everyone. Are you okay?
Yeah, all's good. New York's its own little bubble, right?
It is.
As long as I don't say anything publicly on here, I don't want you to cancel the podcast or anything.
We love everything.
We love everything. No, things are good. A 2 a.m. NRLW and a 5:50 a.m. NRL final doesn't hurt. Doesn't help. Also, a Friday prelim means I'm going to have to be at work. So shout out to everyone else that's going to be working on Friday night watching the prelim. I'll be there in spirit with you watching on a Friday morning in the radio studio. So that's going to be fun.
Because your job is, your role is hard to replace. It's you can have a sick day, but it's ideal that you don't, because you sort of run the radio show program. So
They'll give me the day off to physically go to Sharks games, which I did do when I saw you a couple of months ago. But just to watch it on TV, the compromise will have to be that the studio TV will be on the Fox Soccer channel. So that'll be the compromise for me, Sam.
Now, you and I have had the discussion a few weeks ago, and I think you kind of laughed your way out of it, but
yes,
we can have it now because we're one game away.
Mm-hmm.
Are you already? You're a planner. I know this from. You're a planner.
I'm very much a planner.
You got something in motion? Should confirmation
come
happen next Friday night?
Because we don't have confirmation on either of these things, and there's a chance that neither of these things could happen. But
sure,
it's the same week as a Taylor Swift album launch, which means that I could be faced with the impossible decision, Sam, of flying for the grand final or Taylor Swift coming into work, which is probably going to be the biggest deal that will happen at my workplace, a top 40 radio station, in the past 6 years since she last came in, and I will have to grapple with that decision.
Hang on. How many times has she been in your radio station?
2019 was the last time that she's been in the radio station.
And when was the last time the Sharks made a grand final?
So beat it by 4 years or so.
She's very prolific. You know this.
Yes.
And that means she releases albums a lot.
Yes. Oh, so you're saying that she might be back. You never know. But I
think there's a good chance she'll be back. Yeah.
Well, shout out to Danny Lee, who also had a comment earlier saying, asking if I could get Katy Perry for the grand final after we win.
Sorry.
I know that's fine. You highlighted one about backing the defense, which is far more important to the game. But I did see that he mentioned
Brendan's missed the typo. He said, "Let's get Sam." Yeah, I agree. Let's get Sam. That could mean so many different things. Well, no, it's a conversation we have to have because I get you're a Swiftie. I'm a Swiftie. We love the Swift, but come on, man. We're talking about a lifelong love here. There's no competition.
No competition. But also remember the article that came out a couple months ago. Sharks were 1% of the grand final ticket buyers.
Oh, that's right.
And Canberra were the most. So
we know where we can
if you're interested, guys, go on Facebook Marketplace and change your location to Canberra because there's a lot of poor fans, and some of my closest friends are Canberra fans, and they're listing tickets right now for the grand final. That's the one good thing about 2016 is that at the certain point, and we discussed this first time I was on the pod, was when we all sort of booked our tickets and it all came good for us all. But yeah, change your location on Gumtree to Canberra, guys, if you're looking for tickets, because there's lots of people that are going to be trying to sell their tickets. And I feel bad because if it wasn't us, I would be cheering Canberra on. I would have liked for them. I would have loved for Sharks Canberra to be the grand final, if I'm being perfectly honest with you.
I genuinely feel for them. I do. It's straight sets is brutal. They were on such a high. They were the best team all year. It's brutal, man. It's a brutal way to go out. Like tonight will be a very hard night in Canberra.
And it reminds me of 2022 where we put so much effort into that Cowboys game week one that I knew that Souths the next week we just weren't going to be up for it. And I would be curious to know, obviously you spoke to the Canberra guys in your lead up to the game this week, whether deep down they sort of had that same feeling going into this game, especially when they ruled Strange out of, okay, maybe this isn't our year because it takes a lot out of it.
I don't want to speak I don't want to reveal too much private conversations I had with them today, but they were very, they'd lost their confidence that they had. They had a bit of a swagger during the week.
Yep.
Even after last week. But when that was announced, they went, no, man, this is all yours. And I was like, no, what are you talking about? But they kind of knew, which is also unfortunate. So Melbourne next week, Ben.
Yep.
Now, I don't know. Are you allowed to say what you told me about what happened with you in Melbourne last time? You knew that. Can we talk about that? You were in Melbourne, but you didn't go to the game.
Yeah, I did end up going to the game because I'd just flown to Brisbane for the Brisbane game and sat and was very excited until
comeback, yeah.
20 minutes to go until they came back. So that wasn't ideal. And then I had already planned to go to Melbourne. I know you and Kieran were also planning. You both flaked out, and understandably so. But so I just knew that it wasn't going to be pretty, especially after we beat them so impressively during the year in Cronulla. So yeah, I didn't end up going to the game. I just watched with friends at the sports bar at the Crown, which was actually a very good decision. There was a UFC fight going at the same time, so we had the multi-screens going.
Yeah.
Yeah, Amy Park is never the most pleasant place to go. And also I'm scarred because one of my first visits back home after moving here to New York I was like, okay, it lines up that the Sharks in Melbourne, I'll go. And then it ended up being Cam Smith's 400th game. And I was like, oh yeah, great.
Oh.
One of my least favorite players of all time, I get to celebrate, which of course we were never going to win. So yeah, I'm scarred. So shout out to anyone that's going to Amy Park this Friday.
Let's talk serious footy. How are you feeling about next week?
Look, it's the same as the Cowboys in 2017, that if you gave them a week off, they probably would have lost momentum. We have the momentum. We have the belief. We came out in the media this week and talked shit and then backed it up. How good is that? We know how to beat Melbourne. We know that they're not the same Melbourne as usual. They don't normally lose 2 games in a row. They did. They don't usually lose landmark milestone games. They did. They have players that are underdone. They've got players that are injured. You said that there are edges that are weak. We can beat them. We've done it before. We've done it before in finals. We did it before this year. We just need to, this is the contradiction I'm going to give, is that we need to start really strong and can't let them dictate the terms, but also we can't fade away in the last 20 minutes. Because that's when all the defense and everything, if we get into that grind, that's when that last 20 minutes we've faded away. Now, with our newfound defense that we've had since the Canterbury game, maybe that we're stronger and we're more efficient and we can go a bit longer. But I'll be interested to see what that game plan is because, as I said, it's not the usual Melbourne. But if you let Melbourne dictate the terms on a Friday night at Amy Park, they will just grind out that win.
So is it going to be a case of, when I ask them during the weeks, I say, hey, what do you think about this team? And they go, well, they're pretty good, but we're just worried about us. It sounds like we're just going to worry about us and do our thing. I'm not saying they won't study the other team, but if we play like we played tonight, then we control what we're doing, take the handling out of it.
Well, that's what I was going to say. If we play like we did in the second half, but in the first half, at least there's a lot of video for us to go through. And I mean, it's obvious stuff. As you said, it's the handling, it's the completion rates, it's keeping the ball. That made no sense, but you know what I mean. There's a lot of things that at least we didn't play the perfect game this week. There is stuff to improve on, and we all know
that's a great point. But yeah, I guess I'm saying, okay, they've got a bad right edge. Let's hammer that.
Yeah.
But hey, we've been doing this really good. We've been getting to our kicks. Trindle and Hines have been kicking the crap out of it. Kick chase has been great.
Yeah.
They're starting in their corners. Like, that's what we're doing. That's the game plan. It's not so much about we're playing Melbourne. It's more about they're playing us, I think.
Yeah. 100%, because all the stuff that we weren't great at in that last Melbourne game at Amy Park are the stuff that we have improved on with the defense, with the long kicks when we are only making 20 meters in a set, kicking them to corners, the line speed, all those little things we weren't doing that well in that period during the Origin period. We are doing that well now. So it'll be a good game plan to put together because it's just the little things that we've been doing well in the last couple of weeks.
Hey, explain to me in one paragraph.
Yes.
What the Taylor Swift record's about.
This record? Well, this record is all going to be, it's going to be pop bangers because she's working with the same people that she worked for 1989, which
but,
most people
but
think is their best album.
lyrically, isn't there some
lyrically
sort of
it's the life of the showgirl. So she wrote and recorded this album while she's on tour. So it's all going to be about puts on the show
she's
and
the
what the life is. She's the showgirl. It's all about, I put on the face, but I'm going through stuff. But she's also falling in love with Travis Kelce at the same time. So it's all going to be like, I'm in love.
Okay.
Here's some pop bangers about how I'm in love and I'm going out and putting my life on the line for you guys every night.
And you're saying it's upbeat, swift pop country.
Oh yeah, if you thought the last album was a bit like slow and woe is me, like this is going to be the complete opposite because she's engaged, Sam.
My middle name is Slow and Woe is me. Why
that is true. That's it. That's our side project we're putting together.
That's right.
Maybe we get a run and we go to the wedding.
Maybe we will. I did initially fall for her when she was doing the pop bangers. So I'm all about it. It's all good.
Yeah. Kane has a great point with the comment. Your comment about we're not playing Melbourne. We're playing us. I love that.
From Dyson Logistics and from Spurs for Jesus, the legendary country band. Speaking of country bangers, Kane would be enjoying this. He's a season ticket holder, lifelong fan. And what about RCB stealing Kane's limelight here?
Yeah, RCB is your go-to for all Canberra tickets, guys. So if you want tickets to the grand final, RCB knows everybody in Canberra and can find the people that's selling them.
He'd have like a little lemonade stand outside of his house tomorrow morning.
Yeah, that's right.
How good. I'm very happy for RCB. I know you're less happy for him, but I'm very happy for him.
I love RCB.
What a great experience. Like, I don't know if you wouldn't have seen him, but his wife and one of his kids were on about half an hour afterwards, and they were just so happy. It was very beautiful.
Oh, he posted on Instagram just before him 2016 after that final, and then he's still in the same Reebok jersey this year after this final. Also, great turnout. I think it's 2016. We only had a couple of bays. 2020, it was COVID year, but like it felt like there was a real decent Sharks presence there in the crowd. Shout out to them. That's great.
Absolutely. Like fantastic. I've said it a few times tonight. Like it was noticeable. We knew a whole bunch down there, and we had people on the bus ringing in. We've had all sorts of people ring in, and absolutely. Like, and that stuff, and I've spoken to the players about it, and they've given me the answers I actually believe. It actually helps them. They want to hear and see people out there singing and cheering and getting into the crowd and getting into the refs and that kind of stuff. 2 weeks in a row, Michael. You're not Michael. Michael's on our screen. You are Ben. 2 weeks in a row, Ben. I'm a bit critical of the referee.
Yeah?
Bit critical, yeah. I saw a few things tonight. There was one where he said Ronaldo knocked the ball on, and if he had allowed it, someone actually crossed for a try, maybe an Eero or someone, and he went, no, it's a knock on, and we're like, and we'd lost our challenge on challenge. I'm going to say a pretty silly Nico Hines challenge. I'm not happy about that.
Yeah. So, it was early in the game and not worth the challenge. But from the commentary I heard, the ref was he was in line with it, so he must have the best possible angle. But...
Look, maybe he's right, but I just thought throughout the night, I wasn't overly happy with him. I thought that. Yeah, I just thought some of the calls were a bit weird, but didn't affect the game, so that's fine. And I'm not a ref basher. That's why I'm a bit concerned with my own kind of sanity 2 weeks in a row going, I don't know about this. Don't know about you guys. You know what you're doing?
Well, they're all on eggshells. They don't. Ashley Klein got a pass mark apparently after last week, and now half of them are getting fired. I don't know. They're all on eggshells. They don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, well, that's a them thing, Ben. We won't worry about that. But
we won, so we don't have to worry about that just yet.
Don't have to worry about it. So what have we got? We got a shorter turnaround Friday night, Amy Park, Brisbane, and then they play Canterbury, Penrith. Whoever wins that, they get the 2 days extra, which is kind of bizarro. Then the winners of those will play in the grand final, which is very, very exciting, man. Very exciting. I was saying before that this is sort of crept up on me, Ben, as far as like, oh, we're one game away from a grand final. Do you feel the same way or not really?
Yeah, it's definitely crept up. It feels like that it was a week ago that we were in Vegas trying to describe what the end of the strip looked like. With Gaz. It's really crept up. And I think that it also, the reason for that is that like we haven't had the normal set schedule for the finals. They're throwing things on a Sunday. So we're like, okay, when are we playing? We were so close to getting fourth. So then that sort of would have changed everything. I feel like there were so many different things happening in the last couple of weeks that now we've blinked and it's like, oh, okay, we've beaten 2 of the form teams going into the finals and now we're 1 win away.
Yeah. I mean, maybe I was saying to someone before on the show, maybe all the constant grinding about how we're not good enough and all this sort of thing from, externally and internally, maybe that wore me down a little bit and I didn't realize. And then all of a sudden we're like a minute away from a grand final. So it's a good feeling. It's just kind of, it didn't dawn on me until full time. I was like, oh boy, we're super close now. And I think that last year's experience, we haven't spoken about this, last year's experience for the players is immense. You played one of the great all-time teams. You took it to them for about an hour on the second biggest stage. You didn't embarrass yourself. If your handling was better, I think you might have got them. You learn from that. It's your time this week to play Melbourne, who are obviously an amazing club. And I genuinely think a lot of those guys learn from it. The thing I love about Blake Brayley captaining the club is everything he's saying is we've got to make the most of our moments. Let's not take this for granted. Like, you don't hear that necessarily from our club every year we make the finals.
Yeah. And things are open. These teams are all teams that we've either come close to beating, like we did with Penrith in Vegas. If we just kept going with Brisbane, we could have beat them.
Yeah.
We beat the Dogs. We beat Melbourne. The thing is, everybody's saying all the right things in terms of the team. Everybody else has given us no shot and are just waiting for us to go on Mad Monday. And as I said to you when I first started on here, we normally know how that goes and then we lose. And it's like, we told you. But now it's like, I really like what everyone's been saying, like the Blakes of the world. They've all learned something.
On that note, Kane from Dyson Logistics said, I thought we were gone when Cam went down. Happy to admit that he was wrong. And I don't think that's a crazy thought to have. I didn't necessarily think it, but I certainly wasn't comfortable going, no, we got this. He's a big loss, great player, great experience, great leader. And I actually feel for him. I was thinking about the other day, I feel for him, given what he's put his body through for our club, that he's not going to be playing. Obviously, he'll be amongst the camp every week. But on the flip side, Jesse Colquhoun has just been immense. What do you make of Colquhoun, Ben?
Yeah, Jesse's been great. And it could be one of two things. It could have been that players, like you said, Kane, all thought we were gone when Cam goes down. Okay, we've lost our captain. We've lost all those important runs that no one wants to make. But then Jesse steps up and has been going great. The rest of the players have stepped up, and then Blake has stepped up as captain. And that's 3 really important things that sometimes don't happen when you sort of captain, spiritual leader, that sort of thing goes down. It really tests you. You don't know if your players are going to be like, yeah, okay, we all have to sort of rise up to meet, to match what we've lost. But I think Jesse's been great. Like, look at like Jesse, Billy, all these players that we've got starting that we never would have thought at the start of the year that we would be having in the starting 13 and killing it. Like, how good.
What do you make of Trindle and how do you explain it? Like, is he just a big game player? Is that where obviously he's been good in most of the games he's played for the Sharks historically, but it seems like that's now 3 of 5 finals he's been man of the match in, you would think. that's pretty good record. I mean, is he just that kind of nothing phases me? I'm going to take it in my stride, and if I make a mistake, I make a mistake. Like he doesn't seem to carry the weight of the world like his teammate does.
No, that's right. But then, is it just that he's just simplified the game, and it's just like, okay, if we only make 20 meters, I just need to kick us out of trouble, because that's the one thing that I've said to you privately as well. DCE, like everyone says, okay, he'll go to the Roosters and look what he does for Manly and in Origin. He just kicks you out of trouble and just keeps going and going and going. And I had said in the middle of the year, I don't know if we have the halves that can do that. But Trindle has been doing that for us, where he saves a terrible set where we've only made 20 or 30 meters and then just kicks us out of trouble. And he wasn't doing that earlier in the year. So I don't know if he was like, he sort of simplified things, or he was a bit in his head before and now he sort of cleared his mind a bit. I honestly can't explain it, but I love it though. And I love the fact that everyone else goes, oh, well, Nico's the $1 million player, so you got to put it on him. But I think someone had a really good point during the week on one of the Fox shows but I think Cronk said it. If Cronk or Ennis said it, if Trindle has the hot hand, you just let him keep going, and that's what we do. And I like that.
Yeah, it was on 360, and I think it might have been Gordon saying, one of them was trying to like
it, or someone else. Someone said it.
Yeah, one of them was trying to make the fact that one of them's on what $200,000 more a year.
Yeah,
which in the rugby league term of things is not that much more money difference. And they were trying to get Ennis to say, no, the other guy's better. But it was like, it doesn't matter. Like, as long as one of them lifts. And I think also that people forget how much money Trindle's on. He's not on chump change anymore. So he may not be in the $1 million status, but he's not worlds away from it financially. So he needs to be a big time player, as does everyone else who's on that pay packet. But it's been good to watch, man. Like it's been good to watch. Like the Cowboys game kind of got him that contract.
Yeah.
But now he's really repaying it. Like that's 2 finals games in a row this year, at least, where he's been lights out.
And we've seen different, like, I think that his game the last 2 weeks has been very different to that Cowboys game. Like he hasn't just done the same sort of couple of things, apart from the good flick passes for tries. He's actually played, I think, at least 2 very different games the last 2 weeks compared to that Cowboys game that got him the contract. So that's been good.
Absolutely.
Kane gives credit to Brayley for which is true, because during the game they said, Trindle and Hines haven't made many runs. I think this might have been after the first half or during the first half. But like Brayley was like, if Brayley's running and is like getting momentum for them, they can just focus on other stuff. And Nico's defense this year, I think, has been completely underrated as well. So
it was a bit worrying. I think the stat was he'd made 15 tackles in the first like 25 minutes or something. And I was like, okay, that's a pretty heavy target. But A, he could handle it. And B, I don't know if they stopped going there. I put my stats away, but it didn't really affect him. Like he had a really good game as well. But Kane's right. Like Blake Brayley's really opened up a lot of things. I think AFB's helped that as well. But tonight you saw Brayley do a lot more than what he could do last week. Last week, the Roosters defense was so kind of stranglehold like. He just had nowhere to go. He kept trying. But tonight he got the penalties. He got the set restarts. And he got the run going as well. Like some really great runs. He looks so good when he does it. I thought he was really fantastic again. I'm sort of getting tired of talking about how good he is. Like it's just, I'm not in the least bit surprised. I've obviously been on the island a long time, but
that's what I was going to say.
He's not backing down. And I honestly think, as bad as the Cam situation is, and I wish Cam was still playing in the squad, I wish he was healthy, but the captaincy thing is just a genius move. Like I understand it was a forced move, but he could have picked Teague Wilton, could have picked Nico Hines, could have picked AFB, could have picked a bunch of guys. He went Blake Brayley, And Blake has literally grown a foot. He's literally gone from being a 9 to a 9.5. Like he's really owning the position of being captain.
And we can talk about, like, in 18 months, we can talk about Cam's position in the team and where we think he fits back in once he gets healthy. But in terms of the captaincy, I think Blake's got it now. Like, he's grown another leg. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, and there's ways around that. You might have co-captains. You might have Cam being the kind of off-field kind of guy and who does a lot of the, I don't know, the school visits or whatever they do. And you might have Blake just to keep Blake in that position, but then not disrespecting Cam. But knowing the sort of guy Cam is, he'll probably just shrug his shoulders and go, I'm happy for him to do it. I'll just stay in the senior leadership. And I think it's win-win, but that is a subject for another time, because he's a bit away and there's so much to happen before that, including a prelim in Melbourne, Ben. Prelim
Friday.
In Melbourne.
Unbelievable. Who would have thought back during the Origin period when we last played Melbourne that we'd be here at a prelim?
I will say short turnaround does bother me a little bit. It's not going to keep me up at night, but they've had 2 weeks and we're getting, 6 nights? I don't know how it's going to work out.
But let's say that when we win in Melbourne, would you rather the extra 2 days compared to whoever we face in the grand final?
Yeah, for sure.
We'll get 2 extra days with them playing Sunday. So it's not going to work out one way or another.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that. That's a very good point. Very good point. Danny is on to his 8th scotch. He's gone from 4 scotches to 8. He's tapping out. Don't worry.
At 3
Danny.
hours, I think that's fair enough.
We've hit the 3-hour mark. I think we're all going to tap out. I don't want to. I'm not saying that we have to stop, Ben, but
it's only 10 to 11 in the morning here, so I've got all day, Sam.
I have got nowhere to be. It's fine. I'm hoping that my computer and my upload and everything, I hope that the internet's going to be kind to us when we try and turn this into something, but that's not a problem here or there. Hey, Ben, what's your favorite Taylor Swift song?
Okay, I think her best song is All Too Well 10-minute version.
What's your favorite song?
My favorite song, I very much like So High School from her last album, which is very much like a 90s pop rock song. That's probably my favorite at the moment.
Okay. You don't have are you saying All Too Well could be is that like
All Too Well? I just think it's her best songs in terms of lyrically, in terms of how it all goes. I think 10-minute version is unbelievable, but it's not one that's on my playlist. I like the fast pop bangers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I couldn't tell you when I first heard the recorded version of All Too Well 10 minutes, but I think did she debut that on SNL before it was released on the album?
It was the same week as the Red Taylor's version came out. So it was the Saturday, and she just released it the day before.
Gotcha. So I hadn't heard it, and I watch Saturday Night Live every week, and I was pretty excited she was on. Da 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 da. It was SNL, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, and then she started the song, and I knew the song, and she just had this little gleam in her eye and a little bit of a spring in her step, and I was like, and as someone who plays music and studies music and musicians, I was blown away from the first minute. I was like, man, she's really fired up. Let's watch this. And then I realized the song was going longer and longer and longer, and it had the new bits, and the band was just this red hot band of women. And if you go watch on YouTube, if you haven't seen it, it's one of the great performances I've ever seen of a song. Like, it's just so in the pocket. But yeah, that song is incredible. Like, the recorded version is incredible. The live version is incredible. The short version is incredible. But the long version tells such a story, to the point where I saw a Jake Gyllenhaal clip the other day where he was meeting, who was he meeting? You would have seen it. Someone at the Emmys or the Oscars. Oh, the kid from Adults. The kid from Adults.
Oh, yes. From Adolescence.
Adolescence. I'm saying it wrong. And have you seen that clip?
Yes, I have. Yep. He's always said that the one person he wanted to meet was Jake.
And Jake is just like in this video, the nicest guy in the world. To which someone said to me, yeah, but he's not.
Scarf back.
The scarf. I always go back to the scarf. But someone pointed out to me that the 15-year-old boy isn't a 20-year-old woman being taken advantage of, or whatever the story is. But
yes,
the scarf. Where's the scarf? So Maggie's got the scarf?
Apparently, but then Andy Cohen asked her on his TV show, and she says she doesn't know anything about the scarf. We've gone off the rails 3 hours in on the SharkCast when we're now talking about Taylor Swift's scarf and Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, but anyone who knows this song, they're obsessed by this scarf.
Yeah, no, definitely go watch the SNL performance, or if you've got Disney Plus, go to the Eras tour and just skip to when she does the 10-minute version. Lyrically, it's her best song for sure.
Is the actor at the party, do we know who that is? Because someone told me who it is, and I went, oh, that's someone who I quite like. Have you heard that?
I heard a rumor that it was Jennifer Aniston.
This is who I like.
There you go.
Okay. Kane says, stop talking about Taylor Swift. Riddle me this. If we won last week and the Raiders lost, why do we play in Canberra? Oh, yeah. Yeah, that old one. They lost their advantage last week. That's just how it is. I don't know how to feel about it. They were minor premiers, to be fair. What do you reckon, Benny? Is it fair system? Is it?
Well, yeah, because the idea is that they would probably have won, and that means that we would have got Brisbane, who didn't get a home final. So that's their compromise, is that they at least get the home final in the second week with their second chance. So Christopher brings up the classic point that all finals from week 2 should be played at the SFS, which is Gordon Tallis's favorite suggestion back in his day.
Look, I'm laughing because I agree, but also I'm a Neanderthal from 1988. Like, I would love that, except now there's only like 3 teams in Sydney left, and everyone else is around the state and around the world, and it's just not fair. But otherwise, I agree, absolutely.
Yeah, we got these kick-ass stadiums. We should be using them. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see when they bring in Perth and PNG, how they're going to tweak the finals, much like how they've tweaked the NRLW finals with the extra teams now. That I think that system probably will get tweaked again with Brisbane and the Roosters getting the week off. And the new venue policy. I feel like everything's up in the air, Sam. I feel like they're ready to change everything.
I have to say, Melbourne deserve a lot of stuff because they finished second, I think it was. But there's just something kind of uncool about us having to go to Melbourne in a prelim to make a grand final. It's like, you're really making it hard. Or, insert Suncorp or whatever. Like, it's just, I'm with Chris. I'm like, let's go play the SFS, no matter what. Now, I can't see the name here. Is it whoever that person is? Said, is Tom Haslin okay? King JC. I believe he's okay, but I don't believe he'll be playing next week. So make of that what you will.
He'll be out unless he suddenly proves himself. But it seems like that's almost impossible to.
I think he's out. I just think I want to make sure that people know I'm led to believe he's okay tonight. There's not too many effects, etc. So
that's good.
But yeah, definitely won't be playing next week is what we're told, which is a bummer. He was back. He had a couple of good runs. Kane's got an idea for the for the finals. First week, highest finishes home. Second week and beyond, all at HQ. I don't hate it. I'm guessing HQ is
Shark Park,
Homebush?
obviously. All games at Shark Park from week 2 onwards, Sam.
Ben, you missed a rockin' finals game, man.
Yeah, it looked very good. It looked very
it was
good.
fun. It was fun. It was rocking. It was volatile. It was everything. Not a lot of puddles around, though, even though there was some rain. There was no puddles, so we got out of that pretty good.
We underestimate how good the drainage is at Shark Park, especially compared to HQ Allianz, as Gal would like to say in his coverage as well. Kane, if we were going to do that idea, which I like, I think you'd probably have to go back to the classic top 8 system where first takes on 8th, second takes on, and then just the top 4 get their home finals then. Because otherwise you go into your original point, which is why did Canberra lose and then get a home final?
Yeah, it's tricky.
But I think Melbourne deserved the prelim. They won week 1. They get the prelim. It's tough. It's incredibly tough.
They deserve it, except for the fact that we've got to go down there and play. If it was anyone else, I'd be like, yeah, cool. Now it's us. It's like, oh, that's not very fair.
Yeah. Well, apparently Penrith is undefeated for like 6 games against Brisbane up in Suncorp. So they won't be scared if they beat the Bulldogs tomorrow.
They're Penrith. They shouldn't be scared of anything. What is your tip in that game, by the way? So you can look silly in about 24 hours. Or less. In about 3 hours.
Yeah. Geez, I'd love the Dogs to pull an upset. I really would love for them to win. I don't want to tip against Penrith. Oh, you know what? Let's go for the upset. Come on. 70,000 Doggies fans.
But tell us what you think's going to happen. You think Penrith will pull it out?
Yeah, I think Penrith will pull it out. I think that that Bulldogs have just got too many injuries, unfortunately, and they just haven't been able to crack the halves combo since Galvin's come in. Unfortunately, they've wasted this year in that respect. With Toby Sexton, who is a Taylor Swift fan, because he did like one of my videos on Instagram of Taylor in Melbourne. But yeah, I think Penrith. It will be Penrith Brisbane in the prelims there.
So we could have, and someone pointed out tonight, I think we could have 5th plays. Is it 8th? 5th plays 8th in a grand final. Sharks v Penrith.
Yeah.
Whew. That's
7th. Roosters were 8th.
7th. Okay, sorry. Yeah, 5th v 7th.
5th versus 7th.
Pretty amazing.
And also, another topic for another time as well. But if you look at Sharks, Canberra, Warriors obviously lost last week. Penrith, all of the Vegas teams. You look after the first year, and 2 of the teams they sacked their coach, and it didn't go too well. But you look at all the 4 Vegas teams this year, and they all have done very well.
That is interesting. That is very interesting.
After the first year, South sacked their coach and Brisbane sacked their coach. Didn't really go well for those 2 teams. And this year, despite what we all thought about Penrith during the year and the Warriors after that first game against Canberra, everybody sort of has come good.
That is very well put, Ben. Over on the Instagram.
Yes.
Rex said, love the show. Keep it going. That was a little while ago, to be fair.
He's asleep by now.
Yeah, maybe. Great NRL card said, okay, fellas, short turnaround, time to hit the sack. Don't know if he's talking about us or himself. And I do want to send our love and respect to Riley Pollard, who played in the flag game today. Unfortunately, didn't get the cookies, but man, went close. So Riley has a big future for the Sharks.
It was almost a really big comeback, right?
Yeah, disappointing first half, and at some points down 40-16, and got it back to 40-36, and just ran out of time. But the future is bright with that flag team in particular. There's a bunch of guys, including Riley, who will play NRL, and hopefully it's for us. It'll be in a little bit of time, but it's been a fun day. We won the Harvey Norman's women's game, and we were behind in that, and they had a really good comeback too. Got the bickies. NRLW was pretty good as well. So it's been a pretty good day. Flag fell just short. I know they're pretty disappointed with that first half, but that's how it goes. They'll be back bigger and brighter next time around. I want to also send a shout out to all of our lovely fan bases that are now rising. So you got the Shark Cage, you got this other one, our friend Danny is running, called the Shark Bite Collective. All these groups who are so proud to be Sharks, just putting themselves out there. You know, they've got the drums, they're singing, they're making the signs. We haven't had that we had the CWFC, which is very famous and amazing, and kind of led the way for us. And then they kind of kept it going, but it was less and less and less as far as, I think, members and that. And, stuff happens. I get it. but it's good to see, dare I say, the younger brigade coming along and really going to that effort, Ben. It's a lot of effort to do that sort of stuff.
Yeah, and that was the great thing that we saw in a couple of the articles that came out start of last week, and then going into the Roosters game, was that you had the players coming out and saying, yeah, we can smell the sewerage when it's a bad day at Shark Park, but we wouldn't want anywhere else. Wade Graham on a lot of the Triple M shows were like, we don't have the same facilities as the Roosters or whatever, but we wouldn't want it any other way. And I love that the players are really owning that we want to be here and we love it no matter what we've got. And the fans are the same. There's nothing better when you're growing up and your Saturday night is going to Shark Park at 7:30 and just staying on the hill and enjoying that. So it's cool that that everybody's getting involved and putting together the groups and getting the drums into the dressing room after the game and all that sort of stuff. It's all about the atmosphere.
Yeah, and it definitely helps, like last week against the Roosters, where there's all these naysayers, and to be honest, most of them are in the media, but obviously to be fair, there's fans of the club. There's also opposing fans who just like to get their noses in our business. But when you turn up and it's a full house and there's drums and there's singing and dancing, and it does dispel the myth a little bit that we don't have fans. Our fans won't do this. Our fans won't travel. Well, guess what? Thousands of fans traveled to Canberra and got the money tonight. Like, I will say this, and I don't want to get in trouble from people, but we do, like all clubs, we do have people coming out of the woodwork at this time of the year. Is that the right expression, woodwork?
Yeah.
And I've got no problem with that. Like I say, I'm actually saying the more the merrier. In 2016, I was like, yep, 80,000 people, let's go. Every one of you is welcome. I'm not suggesting they're not. I'm just saying some of our fan base, not people listening to this show, but other people, they like a final. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's not a crime. I guess we just like them to be around for longer periods.
Yes. And we need to find the best way of making sure that they are around longer during the year. And look, the quicker that the atmosphere at Shark Park is consistently great, and we don't have to play the pre-recorded Sharkies chant over RCB speakers, like the better. Once, like when we have the atmosphere there, every game, every moment, every time that there is something that we want to cheer on, like the better, more the merrier. Just, come along for the ride.
Now, for Kane and people who haven't been listening for 3 hours, believe it or not, there's already a pre-drinks happening at the Pink Lemonade in Melbourne, which is right near Amy Park. Our friend Lush, who runs the Victorian Supporters Group, he's been on the show heaps of times, and he runs it with his friend Lockie. They've organised gathering already, and they do this every time we play down there, but everyone's welcome there. That's where I would say to go. The Pink Lemonade. And they said from 3:00, you want to check your social medias and stuff, but there'd be no shame in going there at 3:00 and starting the party if they're not there. But I'd say 3:00 onwards, and that's where you want to be if you want to have a bit of a pre-game drink or a burger or a lemonade or a Coke Zero in Ben and my case. But you'll be hearing all about that stuff all throughout the week, I am sure. Now, Ben.
Yes.
I think it's time. Unless you want to talk some more Sharks or Swift, I think it's time. I'm happy to. You're so fresh-faced that I'm like, this day just has to be over at some point.
Yeah.
No, I don't really believe that.
AM.
It's 11 a.m. It's 11 a.m. on Sunday is what it feels like.
Yeah. Do I start with the Channel 9 replay? I have listened to the Fox commentary, so I'm already. Do I do Channel 9 then back to Fox? Oh, I probably shouldn't be asking a Fox employee this.
Why are you going back to Fox so you can watch it on Fox?
Yeah. I'll be watching it all day, baby.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, yeah.
They're all going to get a run out of me. Then I'll watch the mini. Then I'll watch the bite. Then I'll watch the YouTube.
Well, then I'd go to Channel 9, see what I've got to say, and then you're done with them.
Yep.
And then you go to the DAZN Corporation, as we call it these days, And
how good was the classic games they were playing? They played 2016, obviously, and then they played a great 2008 final between Sharks and Raiders. Oh, I love that stuff. We need more of that on the channel.
Was that when Brett Seymour went nuts?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a. You probably need to clarify with that one. 2008 was a crazy year.
No, he went. No, he broke his knee a week later. Didn't go nuts. He went nuts a little bit after that, and then and then infamously they made him apologize before a third grade match to the people that were there over the public address system in RCB speakers. One of the more bizarre moments in Sharks history, which will be part of the summer series we'll be presenting after we win the grand final, when Brett Seymour had to do a public apology over the mic for getting drunk in Northies and running around like a fool.
Yes. A crazy year. And in 2008, another Melbourne Sharks prelim right there.
Yeah, we don't talk about that one too often, and for very good reason.
Very good reason.
They'll probably get a run on the DAZN Corporation next Friday, I would think. Thursday, Friday.
Yeah. I have to be very selective with the types of Sharks Melbourne games that we watch. Obviously, Cam Smith getting in the sin bin.
We can talk about that. We can talk about that. Like,
was the Stuart Mills game where he had the amazing debut? I feel like that was against
that
Melbourne.
was Chookies.
Oh, was it? Oh,
yeah.
I feel like that was a really good day game against Melbourne that we had. Maybe Stuart Mills just scored a couple of tries in that game.
The rivalry is just fantastic. Like, I know this happens in sport. Like, you kind of get attached with the team. Like, there's great rivalries throughout modern sport. And they're kind of our guys. Like, they cling to us, we cling to them in big games. And even when they're not big games, Dan Atkinson kicks a field goal, and you know what I mean? Like, they turn into big games. So there's a great history. And it's not like it's a long history. When did they come in? Like 1999, I think, or something, or 98.
98, and then they won the comp in 99. But yeah. And then like Kamali obviously played for them and then came to us. Anderson coached them, came to us. The fact that it continued through State of Origin when you had Cam and Gal as the captains, it sort of gave a bit more fire to the rivalry, even when it wasn't the two teams playing, because the two captains were still so involved in each other in the middle of the year. And we played some great games. I remember a random Monday game where we almost beat them in Melbourne and they came back and beat us by 2. There's so many dreadful Melbourne Sharks games, but there's also some really quality ones as well.
Yeah. There's like no in between. It's either like a big loss or it's us winning this, clutch moments. There's been a lot, and I guess the premiership makes it even better. Like, it makes it even tastier, and but this is going to be another thing to add to the history books, which is kind of cool. Like, it's good to have that. I quite like it. Like, I'd sort of rather play different teams than Melbourne this week, but this is what is happening, and Darby's just got back to his hotel from Canberra. Look at this.
Oh, shout out Darby. That's great.
He's a good man, Darby. Heaps of Shark supporters, he said. Yeah, we got that impression from the coverage, that's for sure. There would have been quite the atmosphere afterwards. In fact, Ben, I'm going to go and watch the coverage as well, because I just had it on the background. It was like, I really want to watch this, but I want to go talk to all of our people. And I'm glad I did that, but I'm definitely going to do what you're doing and look around all the various media coverage. The singing of the song in the crowd before the siren goes, that's always just a beautiful moment.
The Viking clap into up Cronulla. Just absolute brilliance. How good.
How big a smile you reckon Ennis? We should have had Ennis Cam in the DAZN.
We should have had Ennis. We were playing for the Ennis
would have
Cup,
been
really.
Loving that. He would have been loving it. And you're telling me Vossi isn't like elbowing him, going, "That's all you, man. That's because of you."
Yeah. That's right, exactly. I did like how they equaled things out. They had obviously Kevy there with his green eyes, and then you had Ennis there with his shark hat on. That was nice. We need Ennis Cam. That's what we need. And don't forget, we were in a prelim with Melbourne in 2018 as well, when Slater should have been sin bin. And
we played pretty good in that game. That was the Moylan era.
Yes. Played the great game against Penrith the week before, and then should have had Slater in the bin for shoulder charging Fecky, and Fecky should have gotten a penalty try, and we should have won that game.
Yeah, for sure. So it's going to be a good week, Ben. It's going to be a really good week.
It's always eventful. So something's going to happen, and it's going to be us winning and going to the grand final, Sam.
Yeah. And then you'll be coming to Australia and you won't get to hang out with Taylor Swift.
Book my flights, guys. If anyone's got a Qantas voucher that they want to give me, let's start. Let's do the GoFundMe now.
We can do a GoFundMe for you, yeah.
No, please.
No.
No.
Oh, there are more worthwhile charities. Is that what you're going to say?
I was going to say that.
I think not, Ben. I think not.
Yeah, that's right.
This is priority.
Yeah. It's going to be a good one. What a good week.
It's going to be awesome. It's already started. It's amazing.
So
how do you think Melbourne feel? You reckon Melbourne's happy?
Yes.
Why?
I think so. I think that they would be a bit scared of Canberra, because Canberra can be their bogey team, especially in the finals at times. So I think for some reason when they clash in the finals, that something always happens. Canberra beat them to get to the grand final in 2019. Melbourne beat them to get into the 2016 grand final. I think that they would be less confident against Canberra than me. Me personally, no. Against Cronulla.
I have to say, I know already there are people thinking that we've got a decent record in Melbourne. We don't. we just have some famous victories there. But really, when you look at the wins and losses, it's pretty bad. We'll get that to you throughout the week. But if people start going, oh, yeah, we go pretty good in Melbourne, it's like, no, we don't. We just have some really, really good wins there, including some recent ones. So it's all going to be okay. But let's not fall into that narrative this early in the morning, because from memory, it's just not true. Because I looked
Does
at
that include Olympic Park or just Amy Park?
We had one very famous win in 2008 at Olympic Park, but definitely Amy Park. I don't know. I'm not willing to say Olympic as well, but it's not good. It's not good. But we can do it. That's the good thing.
Yes.
Chris says that Starling should have been sin binned. What do you reckon, Ben? I don't think so personally, but what do you think?
Two lines of thought. I know a lot of people on the Instagram comments were talking at halftime about Dale Finucane is still outraged that Starling didn't get in the sin bin after a head clash. If we were going to be consistent in terms of like how they've ruled like the Carrigan stuff in recent games, I feel like he probably should have to being consistent, but I think this was the correct decision. In terms of like logically, he shouldn't have been sin binned. It was just a head clash. We're all good. But it's a lottery. Who knows?
I'm a huge fan of the defender has the responsibility not to hurt the other guy in a really bad way. Like I believe that. But then I look at that and I only saw the replays that everyone else saw, but it just looked like a bad head clash. And
his feet were still on the ground. He didn't
there was no real
there
was no real aggression as far as like out of the ordinary.
Yeah, but I can see Chris's point though.
Yeah, I can. Of course. I wouldn't have minded, obviously, but I just felt like if you had to say, give me a definitive answer, I would say I wouldn't have expected him to be sin bin for that. Penalty, sure, but although I don't think it was a penalty, was it?
No, because if it was put on report and it was a penalty, we could have activated Atkinson or whoever the 18th man was.
Yeah, maybe.
But no, that was not a penalty from what I remember.
Didn't matter in the end. Starling is off to Bali. We're off to the prelim. Unfortunately, Tall Tom won't be, but he'll be there for the grand final after we beat Melbourne in the prelim. How exciting.
A minute 10 seconds until 3:30.
Oh, this is the longest. I just wanted to have you on for the longest one ever. I think Clinton held the last one, and you were maybe close to that as well. But this is the longest, so we're good.
You've had a good cast of characters. I hope Gaz and Jess
great.
safely got out of the drive-through.
They'll be fine.
It looked very dark.
Well, it's just they've pulled up at the servo and it's the window. I hate the window. Let me into your place.
Yeah, Gaz needs to use the bathroom, guys.
I understand why. This is the 21st century we're living in. I'm not happy about it, but I also need to come in and pick my own Mentos. You know, you might give me the fruit tingles. No, I want the Mentos. So
that's right, exactly.
But they'll be right. They'll be home safe, and it's gonna be a big week in Sharkland. And as you know, Ben, a big week in SharkCast land. So we can't wait to get into it. Darby is giving credit to our friends at the ET Stand podcast, saying that Boldo got the supporters doing the Viking clap. And
See?
I believe every word. I believe every word of that.
Yeah.
knowing Boldo.
That's great.
So that is awesome, and hopefully it put them off their game. And I feel sorry for the Canberra fans, as I said before, because imagine having the one thing that you owned and then having it thrown in your face in your darkest moment of the year, if not darkest moment in the club's, well, since the last grand final. It's not great.
No.
Great point from Kane. Says Brayley versus Grant will be epic. It will be. There'll be a lot of talk about that. And maybe the best player there wins the game. Who knows?
That's right. And Vossi and the guys were talking about Grant, Dally M Hooker of the Year. No one will complain if it's Brayley. Grant was suspended, so that could disqualify him. So Brayley could just be the next one up, and he could get it. So it's a good clash between those two.
Excellent. All right, Benny, thank you for jumping on. I know it's a crazy time for you.
Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure. We will talk to you, I'm sure, again soon. Start planning things, please.
Booking my flights now, Sam.
All right. We'll say goodnight. Everyone say goodnight to Ben.
Well, good morning. I'm going to go have lunch.
Good morning. Have a bagel for me and a cup of Joe. And oh man, I miss New York City. It's crazy it is. I miss New York City. Ben, we'll talk to you soon, my man.
See you later. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure. Have a great morning over there in New York City. That is Ben. My name is Shanaz. I'm out of here. It's only been 3.5 hours, so I think I'm allowed to go. I'm happy to go for 7 hours, but we're not going to do it. Incredible night for the club. Incredible day for the club. 3 wins, 1 narrow loss. And we are in three prelims, I'm assuming. So we'll talk to you throughout the week. Subscribe wherever you listen or watch this, and you won't miss a thing. Sometimes we can't promote things due to lack of time or effort, etc. Not effort, just sometimes it's all a bit too much. We try and do everything though. Subscribe. Kane says, great show. Thank you. No, thank you, Kane. Appreciate you. You're an OG, that's for sure. And thank you also to Darby for jumping on late too. And thanks to all of our guests. We've had new guests on. We've had old guests, a lot of guests. We are going to attempt to podcast this later on. And there'll be replays of the show everywhere else. Thank you, Darby. I missed you guys in the ACT. It just wasn't, shall we say, not appropriate. What's the word? I wasn't able to be there tonight, and that's okay. Just other things going on, but got to watch it, got to consume it, got to do all this for you guys and girls. So I'm totally okay. And I'm glad you had a great night. And I missed you guys too, though. So thank you for saying that. SharkCast Pod signing out. It's going to be a fun week. Stick with us. Up Cronulla. We are on our way to a prelim.